Welcome back, Washington. I'm joined by Hex, and we've got a banger of a game coming up for you. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't think Toronto would do so well the other week, against Paris, but 3-1 and starting off this season rather crisp.
Yeah, the arena is still bumping here at the Anthem in D.C. We're going to wait a little bit till we get to see the Justice play. That is going to be coming up rather soon, but we're going to kick it off here, me and Jaws, with Toronto and Philadelphia. I know I didn't pronounce the second T. That's how the natives say it, Toronto.
Toronto.
I'm from like the north of the Midwest. I'm almost Canadian anyway, so I'm going to take that leeway there. Here's how we got here today. You just saw the New York Excelsior 3-0 the Houston Outlaws. Still winless on the season. Toronto Defiant, Philadelphia Fusion, and then the match you are all waiting for will be coming up next. The London Spitfire, Washington Justice, the revolutionary rematch.
But we're up. Fusion, Defiant.
Yeah.
Have to get through that one first, and I think Toronto are going to have to get through that one.
Oh,
first.
we got to get through that one.
Oh
first.
no, I'm speaking as kind of being on the Toronto side there. I'm kind of scared of Carpe at this point. Let's be honest with ourselves here. He looked monstrous yesterday.
He should be. I think this is a really interesting match and an important match at that, because I think we're at that point in the season where we're going to start getting answers. Because this Toronto team, remember, they beat Paris. Paris looked legit yesterday. So, you know, it's all this kind of mathematical equations. If they beat them, are they better than them? And then Philly right now could make an argument is the best team in the league, just based on what we've seen.
Oh, Poco definitely thinks so. And one man on that squad that's trying to make everybody believe that they are the best team in the league. That is Carpe. Unreal Widowmaker from the other day. And did get messed around just a little bit, but as soon as Carpe gets rolling, it feels like he's pretty unstoppable.
A happy Carpe is a dangerous Carpe, and he seems to be very happy with this squad. We get starting rosters, and I'm like, I don't need to see Phillies. I think they're going to run out the same 6 until they lose. Wouldn't you? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He seems very happy. Ivy is kind of overlooked. The tank line has looked really good. But again, I think the revamp that has happened for this team is that rookie support line. They're keeping everybody alive, and they have a lot of space to work because Carpe.
How does he peek these angles as well? You see that high nooning McCree is just sitting there, about to draw his revolver, double peeks him, double headshot, easy kill. And like you said, Alarm and Funny Astro just setting him up for success. And the tank line as well, of course. It's normally down to Funny Astro kind of getting everybody into position. His favorite hero being the Lucio, of course, and he loves to play it super aggressively. I can imagine we're going to see that again today, him just beating into Toronto, just making sure their tanks are set up for the perfect shots and the perfect self-destructs.
They look good. It's going to be a lot on Nevix and perhaps the Toronto DPS line to try to shut him down, but teams have tried, teams have failed so far. Toronto's going to give their best shot against Philly today.
Oh yes, they will be. I think it's time we bring out some of the teams,
don't you? Let's do it.
That's a good idea. Toronto versus Fusion. It's going to be a good one. Defiant coming out first, though. There's a few fans in the audience. There'll be a few fans of Philly, too. Mr. Logix leading the way.
Thank you, Mr. Logix. Dude, indeed. Oddly enough, it does not appear that Lane Shore4 Roberts is on that stage. In my opinion, their most consistent DPS player. I think the issue that I have with both Logix and Agilities is they are highlight machines, but they're also magicians, and that they will disappear at times. And Lane was a nice balance to that. Shore4 is a consistently above average DPS. You know exactly what you're going to get out of them. But Logix versus Carpe, maybe some Widow battles. Logix can go off, and Agilities can go off.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Which one of those is actually going to show up today? If Logix is going off, he's going to be able to stand up against Carpe, right?
ZP's favorite player, Beast.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with his very first performance in New York. Nevix never really got to see playtime last year, but everyone in the league, every single one of his colleagues, speaks extremely highly of him. And Kellix, of course, former Boston main support as well. This Toronto team has gone through a lot of changes. There's Kareev. Kareev and Agilities, the best bromance in all of Overwatch League.
Oh, you wouldn't separate them, not for a moment. Let's get Philadelphia out on the stage, though. You want to see those handsome boys' faces. Poco has just been on fire recently, and, you know, there's a few spicy tweets here and there, but I just want to see Alarm. He put out another spicy tweet a little bit earlier on today as well. Fusion is bring him on out. Rookie backline, like you were saying, Hex, Alarm, and Astro stepping up to the keyboards.
Even talking about Poco streets, I like what Alarm's doing. He is taking on all comers, and when you're undefeated like the Fusion are, and you have kept Sato alive, and really reinvigorated his career to an extent. I mean, maybe that's overstating it, a bit of hyperbole perhaps, but Alarm is keeping Sato alive at such an amazing rate. Sato looks comfortable. Now Sato is dangerous.
One of the flashiest haircuts in the league as well. Alarm looking like a straight-up CEO.
Yeah.
Maybe head affiliate, no point.
Funny Astro, I mean, we've seen such a great influx of Lucios in this league. It makes me want to play Lucio even more, watching guys like FT God and Funny Astro go at it. Poco, captain consistency there. Sato, as I mentioned, reinvigorated now with his brand new support line. Ivy, going against his former team, was on Toronto last year, along with a laundry list of other players who were on Toronto last year. I think they cut like 9 guys. And then there's the star, Carpe, one and only the fish. Of course, his name is not from the carp, it is from the phrase Carpe Diem. His buddy Diem, of course, we will see play later in the year.
Simplest social media game out there as well. We won, GG's. We play now. GG's
I like
again.
it. You know,
Perfect.
I'm a
Gets
man
the
of
point,
few
right?
words. I'm a simple guy when it comes to tweets. I'm like, hey, I'm casting Overwatch, watch it. Hey, I'm going to be in Overwatch League in 2020. Thanks.
I click heads.
Yeah.
I kill people now. Jonak dead, we win.
I like it. I like it a lot. What I also like is Control. I'm one of the few people who loves Control to play and to watch. We're going to kick it off on Oasis. And which one are we at? We're at the University, yeah.
Oh, yes. I was hoping it was City Center so we can see Funny Astro with a couple of boops.
I like watching people get hit by cars. Please don't take that out of context.
You got a few last.
I mean, it's actually not even wrong. Let's get onto the University and off of my train of thought, please. You know what's really interesting about this is that there is still kind of, it's not environmental kills necessarily, because a lot of people don't play on that high ground where it happens. But there is a big hole in the middle of the map, which is almost better than a kill. If you can knock someone down to that low ground, they're out of the fight, and when they rejoin it, you've usually won the fight, and it's an instant stagger. So you have to be very careful of the environments in the middle of this stage.
Yeah, it takes so long for you to actually get back onto the points. Logic and agility is going a little bit low. Beast with the attempted cutoff there, but didn't think it was all too worth it. Sato and Beast kind of jostling on the point. Just Flame Strike's going a little bit wide, but it's a bit hard when you're that distance out. Nice wall, actually, coming through from Toronto. They're just trying to corral Sato into this corner, so it's way easier for Beast to do some damage to him. But Sato is taking to the field just a minute. Look at that nade, though, from the side. Alarm hitting 4 people, and Carpe and Ivy cleaning on up. 90% on the ult as well. He's going to have Nano for the next fight. That is what you want out of Alarm.
It's really interesting what Philly's doing. They're kind of squatting up right now. You saw Sato and the Mei just on the point controlling space while everyone else was over on the side supporting Carpe, just waiting for the pick. Look, it's no secret how Philadelphia wants to play. They're going to support Carpe until you try to shut it down. When you try to shut it down, they're going to take that opening of all the resources you've devoted to Carpe, and they're going to punish you with the other 5 guys.
You want an early push here. Alarm knows he has Nano advantage. He doesn't want to let Kareem build up to that Nano. He's 10% away. There it is. Does get unleashed, and look at that Beast in the corner. Is going to find the repin, but the freeze from Ivy on the back, and then they nade to finish him all off. Poco ends up going down. They do end up nanoing somebody. I believe that is Logic. Yeah, using that high noon to actually reload on the side. Carpe is going to use his to push everybody from Toronto back. Still jostling on point. 50% almost now for Philly and building. Sato with the Shatter. Beast only a little bit behind. Agility's open to fight up with the ult, but Carplay on the side. Gonna kill off Logics. Now Toronto basically out of damage and out of hope as Beast ends up going down. They've only got really one good fight now because Agility's using that ult so early on. That place takes a long time to build up when you're against someone like a Ryan and a Diva.
Yeah, and this low ground Kareem is going to get cleaned up late. I'm just not sure what Logix was thinking there. That's where Carpe's been all game. He's been hanging out in a small pack room in the corridor, peeking left and right, and Logix leads the charge instead of letting someone else go in first so that maybe they get flashbanged and Logix can hit a shot, but that was just bad situational awareness. Carpe's dangerous when you don't know where he is. Like, that would be my priority 1 if I'm Toronto. Where's Carpe? Let's play around that.
That's why so good at playing Winnermaker. Playing the unpredictable angles sometimes. And his aim is just sick, of course. Sato with the Shadow almost gets moved into the hole. He's going to have to be a little bit careful, though. Potentially knows Beast is close to his, but Carpe once again opening kill onto Kellex. Beast in a lot of trouble now. As OT's ticking down, he has to stay on the point, but he's up against Sato. He's going to get Nano too, so he's going to present a little bit more of a threat. Oh, the perfect Shatter! Straight through the shield, self-destruct on top. Beast going to come through. Astro didn't even need it. OT ticks down. University taking 100-0.
The industry professional term, you all know it, you all love it. The fatty shatty comes down to seal the deal. I'm actually just really disappointed in Poco. He's the only one who died.
Oh.
The only death for Philadelphia was Poco during that round, a 17-1 differential in eliminations. About as one-sided as it gets. Yeah, it's just everyone's doing better. I mean, there's not really deep analysis here. Everyone on their role in Fusion is playing better than everyone on their role in Toronto. I think if you really want to look into it, some of the walls were a little bit off. There was a wall that could have gotten Sato early on and you get the main tank, but he squeaks out because there's a meter left in there. Even Ryan's big body gets in there. So, I don't know, is agility super comfortable on the Mei? There's not really much to write home about in that first stage. If you're Toronto, you try to forget about it, call it nerves, call it warming up, and you move on.
Yeah, he did use it earlier when Nevix was demeched as well, so Nevix couldn't even follow it after. Of course, he got killed, and Logix got killed too. Unlucky, but different stage. Now, all is in the past. They're posturing on the high ground, but on the overhead, we can actually see Carpe just with the
Carpe's a mile away.
Look at this. Yeah. He's on Mega Pack right now. He's going to be able to just
blink it away.
There you go.
From a mile away.
Opening pick.
Look,
they didn't know where he was, clearly, right?
Carpe was in Mega Pack all the way across the map, and he gets Logix. It was 5v6, and Philly just waited. They just waited for Carpe to do something, and now Carpe gets Kelix.
There's another one. There's 3. Ooh, don't want to take one of those Carpe. Just back away. 3 kills. Or maybe 4. Ooh, just in time. Maybe not. I'll take it back. That does heal you, by the way, Asper.
Not all the way, but, you know, it
would have been.
It's a nice build. Yeah, this is Carpe on the open. Right now, it's 5v6 as everyone's fighting over there.
Look at that aim!
Just plinking.
4 out of 5 shots hitting.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 stars, not a headshot.
Wow. You really have to nitpick, don't you?
Hey, look, I expect perfection out of Carpe.
It's okay. You don't all have to be perfect, only when you're playing with Hex.
Well, someone has to carry me.
Yo, true. Wall going up. Alarm with the nano. Nice nade, actually. Doesn't quite find anybody. Splash didn't quite hit agility. Shatter on the side. That's a nano beast now on the floor. He's going to get pinned up against the wall as well. No, saving him now. Finding Astro with the kill credits. Poco and Ivy do end up going down, but without a main tank. You haven't really got a hope, and without a mech, of course, as well, as Nevix was playing around Mega Room.
Logic's got a couple, but it's simply not enough. There's only 5 now alive for Toronto, given a respawn from their Reinhardt, and everyone's going to be back in position and ready in fighting form for the Philadelphia Fusion. We also got defensive ults and a sound barrier and a blizzard. Philly in a good spot at 63 and counting up.
Very good spot. It's what agility does with this blizzard. Problem is, obviously, they're on high ground, right? They don't really have to navigate to the low ground. Ivy's got a massive advantage in respect, and Carpe picking up first blood yet again. Logix is going to go down. There's the blizzard, there's the wall. Goodbye, Beast, and goodbye, Toronto. They have ults. Agility, is he going to be able to get out alive? Nice little
stutter step, yeah.
All right, okay, but they have got one more fight left. They've almost got 6 ults. Agility needs to land something big. Logix just can't die to Carpe first yet again.
I mean, they're in a tough spot because Philly's just working out their ultimates. It's time to hit Q and go, but yeah, Carpe is hiding in the corner. There's 5 on the point for Philly, but Carpe's coming around the back end.
He almost has Deadeye as well. Toronto have a little bit of time on the point. Logix opening up with the Deadeye, doesn't quite find anything just yet. Forcing Philly to jump on the point as the point almost got flipped. Beautiful bio grenade once more. Just sees Logix ends up going down. Sano swinging. Beat come through from Funny Astro as well. Toronto Defiant are cleaned off the face of Oasis. And Philly take the map 2-0.
Final tally, 32 eliminations to 3, as one-sided as an Oasis you'll ever see. And you know what's impressive? They were doing it on the ground, mostly 5v6, while Carpe just did whatever he wanted to do in the back end.
It was a permanent 5v6 Carpe permanently on the fight. They need to watch out for this man. He is going to pick off somebody. Either support or the DPS. Shut him down. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
the Toronto Defiant, picking up some huge names for a revolving door of absolute DPS superstars. It is Surefour back in the hot seat.
Surefour's collecting kills.
Better stay out of my way.
He's back.
Is there anything you can't play?
Nope.
When he can make explosive solo plays, that's when you see agility's at its best.
Gross. That is gross! You know, for a very softly spoken Belgian guy, there's some attitude in Logic's play.
Logic showing him how it's done.
This man is unstoppable! Logie Bear's looking for the picnic baskets.
Now you're just showing off.
3 different DPS looks that we've seen from Toronto so far.
Well, would you look at that? Carpe versus Logic stat card straight on your screens. Final blows is just a number I think you need to look at. 12 versus 3, and deaths as well. Carpe sitting on a clean 0.
Big fan of that 0 there, and this is kind of what we foretold. Their Nostradamus minds working. Logix is capable of insane 3Ks, 4Ks, those grapple shots, the highlight reel you saw. But then there are times, and this is my big concern with some of the DPS in Toronto, there are times where it's, where's Logix? Where's Logix? He just didn't show up there. Didn't really hit any shots. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, he got 3 final blows, and I think that's all the entirety of the Toronto Defiant had, was 3. That's rough.
I know where Carpe's been, though. He's been on the Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
He's been, Alarm even, sorry. He's been on the Twitter, talking some smack.
I'm the boomer up here. You say on the Twitter?
On the Twitter. He's on the Twitter.
On the Twitter machine.
You ready to be broken, Beast Halo?
Oof.
Are you ready?
I think my answer to that would just be no, but
Yeah.
I wonder what Beast Halo replied during that.
I think Beast had a little something to say.
Yeah, Beast shortened his name. Used to be Beast Halo, now it's on Beast.
I can't wait. You're going to be on the floor crying.
Woof.
Not so kind of reminiscent of what we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that a support is going after a tank on the other side. You don't often see those duels happening, but I'm guessing if Philadelphia gets enough of a lead, that Alarm's just going to start going super aggro and is like running through shields, trying to hit darts on them just to back up the smack talk. I think that's kind of the team that they are right now, and Philadelphia's got this kind of quiet confidence, and why wouldn't you be? They're beating everybody.
They're definitely some of my favorite people on Twitter currently.
Ah,
Here's someone coming in, though.
Yeah.
Logic's taking a backseat for the time being.
Logic's up.
Mr. Surefour.
It's a little
Stepping in.
tough because sometimes you need a map to warm up on DPS, but you know, the lane has been the most consistent. You know, he looks a lot like Tasumi, but not to be confused with Tasumi. And yeah, he's, like I said, he's the most consistent part of this team, I think, and you just need that. You need someone to be able to hit shots most of the time when you have other DPS players who are streaky. And when I saw the starting lineup, I was like, I think they're going to put Surefour in map 2. You give Logic a chance, and you test, is the hand hot? Are you on today? And the answer early on was no, so it's like, okay, well then lane's coming. Because Surefour will always give you a consistent, high level of play.
Yeah, we need some consistency right now going into map number 2. And that map is going to be Anubis. We could see, of course, a little bit of Widowmaker here, but more than likely is going to be the Kree and the Mei.
The Frosty Cowboy was what it was pitched to me as a name for the composition.
Oh, we have seen a little bit actually of this. Double shield, not double shield, sorry. The Orisa with the hands.
Yeah, we have seen double
and the
shield on
backsies
this map too as well. Yeah, because they're going to switch actually. Sato is going to go over to that.
Oh, there we go.
It's one of the reasons that we thought that this Philadelphia team was running Poco rather than their other pickup in Fury on the Diva, because Fury's a god-tier Diva. But Poco can play the Orisa probably a little bit better, so it gives him this versatility to run the double main tank composition. Carpe is going to be on the Hanzo here. Toronto Defiant right now in an interesting composition, but this may or may not be a scouting Sombra. You never really know until they leave the gates, but it looks divey. And I think this plays to Agility's best hero.
Yeah, it does look very divey right now on the Sombra. So yeah, he has to put the Translocator on the Mega Pack rather than the Spawn, so yeah, he's going to stay as the Sombra. I would like to see him actually destroy that Translocator and then throw it through the top wood window, unless he wants to take care of the Mega Pack.
Fly Beast.
That is an unfortunate freeze. Beautiful Bio Grenade though coming through from Kareem. You saw him on the left-hand side, he's setting it up, lands the nade on the platform, then they all dive in, but the problem is Alarm was sitting there. What do you have? Immortality.
What you want to do is land on the lip as the Winston there, get a lot of cleave damage in, try to get your ult going, and then back out, but they walled him in, froze him up, and just eliminated him. The rest of his team's going to have to wait. Winston shouldn't have a problem getting to join the rest of his team.
Oh boy. That's not good.
You nut! Carpe's a nut!
These damage boosts as well by Kellex as well. Agilities is going to build this blade rather slowly. Going up against double shield, and if he keeps getting killed like that, it's not going to be an easy time.
Well, see, the thing about the Toronto Defiant composition here is it's about building ultimates and getting those combos. Look, Genji as a vanilla hero, not that great. Really good ultimate. Sombra, vanilla hero, really good ultimate.
Another beautiful fire grenade landed on the platform. Poco, Sado, and Ivy end up going purple. Funny Astro taking out Agilities this time instead.
With headshots as well.
He honestly, like, with Lucio's gun, it's one of the weirdest guns in the game to actually operate. Funny Astro has mastered it and then some.
I mean, those Lucio mains who are just clipping people with headshots, it's amazing to me. It's a very odd projectile, but I suppose you put enough hours in. And that's brutal, because Agility's now died twice. He's only at 60% on his blade. Short 4, only at 60% on EMP. Gets a little boost there.
They killed the perfect target,
That's
though.
huge.
Alarm is going to go down.
It's enormous. That's
No
the best
main
kill.
meter now available for Fusion. They've only got to have to rely on Funny Astro. Kareem can be rather safe here too, and Carpe actually goes down too. So now Beast can walk onto the point basically for free without fear of Carpe. Has got the Primal Rage as well. One by one by one by one. A Fusion getting slowly picked apart. Sado is solo, gets tasered through the shield.
Nevix eating up Ivy. Ivy with a desperation Blizzard attempt trying to get it in there, and it gets gobbled up. And I see a tap in the screen there, Jack. Toronto Defiant about to have 5 ultimates to go. Kellex used the Valkyrie mode just to ensure their victory on first. And yeah, Philadelphia's best chance was to have a Blizzard for the second point on defense, but Nevix, God, he's so good. It was tragic he didn't get to play last year.
Or to be fair, oh my, you heard that voice line come out.
Yeah.
He's like, well, my time to right click right in front of your face. Thank you very much. Now, they have the perfect tools, like you said. There's the Nano, there's the blade, straight in the bag. Goodbye, Carpe. He's hunting for more in the sidelines. However, Supercharger's down, and GC has to be a little bit more careful. Does manage to take out the Supercharger with him as well. Shadow went on the floor. I'm not entirely sure where that Shadow went, but it doesn't matter because Sherford's in the back, assassinating the...
No, he was trying to, but
Ivy's trying to.
Ivy turned the tables. Now Short 4 and Kareem are dead. That's huge for the defense.
Agilities at least kills Alarm. This isn't bad at all. Everybody's now getting poked out ever so slightly. Funny Astro's going to be able to come back with a beat as Kareem does get resurrected. Beast still jostling on the point, but Philly can get back on one by one just to make sure they can stall this out for their DPS to come back and secure the kills. Kellex ends up falling Agilities as well, so everything, in fact, invested in that last fight, Hex. Ivy's gonna get hacked, 1 HP, he goes down, shouldn't matter too much, but they don't secure a single thing.
It started off so well, and then maybe a bit of an overextension by Short 4 as he's chasing into spawn. He gets domed by the icicle, he goes down, and now you put Kellex in a Sophie's choice. Got to decide between Short 4 or Kareem, brings back Kareem, but then Sado gets another couple picks, and after all said and done, a lot of people hit Q and no permanent progress on the point for Toronto. Economy in shambles, a good hold for Philadelphia Fusion, and they're getting ults online of their own.
Yeah, they're going to switch to Sim, TP up to the high ground, get a little bit more up close and personal with the Fusion. That wall going down fairly early is pretty big for Toronto if they can just navigate around or at least heal up before they go in. Nice block by Beast. Sado going pretty low, but so are the rest of Toronto, so they can't engage on this one at all. And they're actually engaging straight into a Blizzard if they're not careful. Carpe once again finding the first kill of the fight, taking off Sherfor's head. There's another one too. Headshot after headshot after headshot. Easy win for Carpe. There's the third. And Alarm finishes off Beast to end it all out.
I don't doubt Short 4's game intelligence or abilities, but I don't know about the Symmetra here on last point offense. You don't see it too often. So I'm curious of what the true plan is. Maybe it's to work up to ult, because the ult can really cut the team in half here.
He was on the side again.
Yep.
Sherfor's like, well, oops, daisy. Didn't realize he was up there. And this is what you got to watch out for. It's what you said before on Oasis. Please just look at your backs. Carpe is going to be on the side.
It just makes it all the more impressive that, like, the ground and pound when it does come through and Carpe doesn't hit shots, that they're winning at 5v6. Like, it just goes to show how good the support and tank line is for this Philadelphia team as well.
Nice little wall. Ivy's going to look for that Matrix. Might not even need to use the Blizzard, to be fair. He's checking to see if any stragglers were left behind by Toronto. Sado is going to fall to the ground, but that Nano helped him out for the time being. He's going to get walled off for the rest of his team, and the Blizzard does freeze him up. Still somehow alive. Nathan Kareem will finish off the kill, and a beautiful shadow by Beast. He just needs to swing on through, but Ivy in the back They didn't see it coming. That's 3 kills for the May. And they should now get cleaned up with ease. Fusion once more, holding on to point 2, refusing to let a tick go.
Yeah, that's a 1 fight too, and even though Sato went down early, it took him so long to kill him because he was getting so much support. And by the time they got him, Ivy is in great position to just toss in a blizzard of his own, waits it out. There's no cooldowns left. Bye, see you later.
Like you said, if Carpe's not popping off, it don't matter because Ivy's there to back him up. Let's take stock real fast. What if Toronto actually got 2 support ultimates? Facing up against Funny Astro's beat, but Sato's coming up with a big shatter. Kellex has to stay out of the way, potentially beat the shatter if he needs to. They're going to get cornered. Nano boost onto Beast. Self-destruct in the back, actually kills Sherfor. And now Philly they can play up here without a problem. Toronto haven't really got much damage to really play with, plus they've got 30 seconds left. They have 1 clean push, and that is it, Hex.
Toronto, bereft of check marks, the only one above 50% on ultimate charge is Nevix. Gonna have to hit a miracle of a bomb, but even if he places it perfectly, Astro's got the defensive barrier ready to go. Sato might slam him, but not even let him get to the point. 10 seconds left, Jack.
You heard Athena, and you heard Hex. 10 seconds remains. They still have to touch the payload, mind you. Kellex has gone purple and fairly low as well. Someone is on the point. No, they're not. The shatter hits the ground in celebration, and Toronto don't get there. I kind of want to know what actually happened to Kellex.
Got slept.
He got slept. He also got naded as well, so it's way too dangerous for him to peek. Carpe could just body shot him once and he'd die. What a horrible situation Toronto were put in there.
I mean, Alarm does it on Bab, he does it on Ana. I'm telling you, and I'll say it one last time, but everyone write it down, my Rookie of the Year candidate. He is looking like it. Right now, the way Philadelphia is playing, and this is small sample size, but we haven't seen a lot of teams play. I believe there's still 6 teams who have yet to play a game in the Overwatch League. But Alarm could be the Rookie of the Year, and Carpe could be the MVP. Really early on, but let's see exactly what happened here. They've got a Diva low trying to come up. And then
Kellex is so close!
Yeah, he gets slept after the buzzer.
Nice sleep.
Yeah. It was in slow-mo, it's a little easier.
Nah. Shut up. Come on, man. Give me this one.
Oh, all right. You can have it. Jeez.
That's where all my plays happen, in the slow-mo at the end of a round.
Oh, I have crit accuracy nearing 50% in slow-mo.
You could be an Overwatch League. You could straight up beat Carpe.
I kind of am. I'm on the talent team.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We'll play the All-Star break. I want you on my team, though. You were like top 500 in 3 regions.
Grandmaster in 3 regions. Top 500
I know you've been dying to say it on broadcast. I figured I'd help you out and just let people know for you, you know?
I haven't been dying.
I'm a bro.
I was going to mention it at some point, though. I carried Custer to his tank Grandmaster on support, so... Sorry, Custer. I had to expose you there for a second.
All right. Fine for boosting. Anyway, Philadelphia's going to be on their offense. Only 1 point conquered by the Toronto Defiant on their attempt. So Philadelphia, a very easy win condition to try to pop up 2-0 very quickly. Just get 33% on the on the second point. First things first. First point out first.
Nice little nade. Oh, agilities.
Yep.
With the instant kill onto Alarm. Not bad at all. Now they're kind of in this room, which is kind of painful, to be honest, because Sherfor can kind of skirt around at this point. He can either try and hunt for the people in spawn, which is exactly what he's actually going to do.
That's a great stat we just saw. Philadelphia's won 52 out of 55 team fights where they get the opening elimination. That's that killer instinct. We got one, let's go.
Yeah, so Alarm right now is in spawn, dueling out Sherfor. Sherfor's not going to let him go. They're going to have Funny Astro to kind of push them on forward, but Alarm is going to be their main source of healing, and I think he's still stuck in spawn. Nope, he has got back to his team just in time, but Sherfor got back a little bit quicker, dealing the damage to Carpe. Both tanks from Fusions, though, actually end up picking up a couple of kills. Fusion now marching on forward. Ivy with nearing a Blizzard 2. All he needs to do is build this up for the next fight, and it could just be a 2-0 ever so quickly as well. This match felt like a speed run at this point.
Sato getting Karib was brutal there, too, because now you just have a Brigitte on the ground trying to do enough healing, and it's simply not enough to go forward. What Toronto needs to do right now is stall out a little bit, because they're gonna have they can get EMP, and they can get another nice stall in the Primal Rage from the Winston. All of that is for naught, though, if Sato can hit a Earthshatter or this Blizzard comes up. Philadelphia's in a good spot. Oftentimes, your first fight on Assault is your best fight on second point. And again, only 33. They only need 33.
One fight. 6, man. Nade. Bree basically builds a entirety of Nano with that, almost. EMP available from Sherfor. Back in spawn. Nice go onto Carpe. Might not even need it. Blizzard comes out as well. Agility's going to escape. He's the main man that you really want to make sure is alive. Beautiful hack on the Coalescence too. There's the meteor strike straight on top of Alarm's head. You do not leave the EMP this fight at all. So just a hack and a Doomfist ult is all that they needed.
Best case scenario for Toronto as well. They really only needed the Primal Rage to slow it down and stall out. They're able to hold on to the EMP. You know what's really interesting? I watched Shore4 talk about Sombra the other day and how just the threats of the EMP is so valuable. He's like, watch where they're playing, watch where they have to play because I have EMP. Now they're here, now they're there. Sometimes not using an ultimate is the right thing to do because it forces a play style out of the team that you can exploit.
Especially if you're lurking in the shadows right now, like Shore4 is. He's in the back line, just trying to find the perfect 6-man EMP. Doesn't want to get flashed. Has to make sure he catches Funny Astro as well. Yeet! He's going to up straight in the air. There's the 6-man EMP, and there's the damage. Agility's with the 3K. Oh, it's so easy when they don't have abilities. That's 4. Make that 5. Oh, come on. Give it to him, give it to him. There's the 5, potentially 6. Give him the ace.
Let him ace it.
Oh, don't you do it. No, they let him escape. We'll call that an ace. It might as well have been. He was a pilot diva after all. 5K for the Doomfist.
I'll take it.
And a lot of time off the time bank as well. 4 minutes to get that 33%.
Philadelphia is banking ultimates, though. They did not throw any into that last fight. It's kind of the counterpoint of the EMP. The EMP forces your opponent into a good economic position because they're unable to use those ultimate abilities. Toronto not in a bad spot, though, with their defensive ultimates available here. Gonna have to hold on for at least 3 more fights with 3:30 on the clock.
And they got still holding on to Ivy's Blizzard. Carpe going low. Nevix once again just helping Agility set up for these kills. The perfect kill, some would say. Getting off Carpe.
It's been the first death of the last couple fights.
I want to focus him down. Like we said before, that's all you need to do, apparently, is focus him down. You just got to watch out for Ivy now.
Just kill Carpe.
Just kill Carpe. That was very aggressive Agilities, but it's got the mobility. It's Doomfist after all.
Philadelphia's playing it really slow, banking up, nearing 6 ultimates on the other side. I think Toronto's got 5. We're going to hit an ultimate fiesta here in a moment. Count the scraps when it's all said and done.
Shore4's 50% towards his EMP. 6 ultimates available for the Fusion. Agility's hiding away. He has to be careful of this beat coming out as well. Can't really insta-kill people. There's the nano on the 3. Goes in and out again. Saw the high noon going off. Beat and Blizzard have been laid on the point. Beautiful shadow on the beast. Goes a little bit wide though as he gets nanoed to the primal rage to keep him alive. Agility finds the kill onto Ivy though. Now Beast running Fusion down. Nothing Poco can do. You got 3-second boosters now, but you can't get away from Beast, who's jumping on your head. A nice team fight once again from Defiant. Burning that time back down. 2 minutes remain.
Now, defense is always in a great position here because you can play reactionarily, and that allows you to see how the fight is going, what do you need to use, and it puts you ahead economically. Because Shore4 and Agility's, I mean, Agility's ultimate, yeah, it's not all that great, especially if you don't have a grab to combo it or even an Orisa halt. But EMP is real
there
good.
we go. In the ice block was Ivy though, so he doesn't get hacked, but I'm not sure it matters. Agility's just going to go straight in on him. A hack onto the main now. An instant kill for Agility's. Toronto Defiant making their stand on the second point of Anubis. They are not out of this just yet, but the best they can do, Hex, is a draw at this point. Do not forget that.
Toronto playing for the draw here with 90 seconds remaining. Shore4 already at 30% nearing the EMP. He's doing a really good job of charging this up on the defense. And they're going to have a stall ultimate again, where Beast has been just stalling out with Primal Rage. And he's been doing a good job of isolating targets, knocking them in alone, and then Agility just coming in and slamming them into walls.
You hear that punch charging up, does hit the wall.
Carpe hacked.
He has to wait for his cooldowns to come off there, or he's going to try and kill Poco, but he is going to use that self-destruct to get the remeg. Yep, he's going to be able to do that. Didn't get instant kill by Agility. He's beautiful punch to onto Alarm. Didn't have fade. Doesn't have a life anymore either. Beast getting nanoed in the Primal Rage. 2 fights in a row, but Agilities! Again, someone stop this man! Fusion have now 1 more fight in the bank before the Defiants are going to hold them on second point and cause this map to be a draw.
That Alarm kill was just a big unlucky, though. He wasn't even going for him, didn't know where Alarm was, and Alarm just crosses traffic and finds the Agility fist, knocking him in there. Agilities has been cleaning up here. Only 20 seconds remain. That ominous music as we might be on our way to a draw. Philadelphia can open up with some support ultimates.
75% of the ultimate for Agilities as well. Doesn't quite connect with anybody, so doesn't get the 100%. Alarm has been hacked, so can't use the Coalescence, but they've got a little bit of time to work with here. Asado makes his way towards the point. Agilities with a Meteor Strike. Using it for safety, not for a kill. Carpe finds the first kill. Beast going down. Scherfel with the EMP in the front line. 4-man hack. Carpe spinning to win, but it doesn't matter because Agilities is on the field. 2 kills on Asado and Alarm, and now it's him fending off against the rest of Fusion before the 33% is capped. Ivy with a couple of kills. He's going to get frozen out as the Blizzard forces Beast away. Thinking a couple of percent that they've done it. Fusion with a nail-biting finish. Go up in the series 2-0.
When that fight first started, Funny Astro and Alarm were at slivers of health. 10 HP just about. So immediately, Alarm hits Coalescence, gets himself going. Funny Astro doesn't get any of that healing, and he hits Beat and gets himself alive. If they go down, that fight is different. This rookie support line from Philly is absolutely crushing. We got a game break in LA. See you on the other side.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. Rank up with America's first and only nationwide 5G network. And by State Farm. For auto, home, or renters insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Philadelphia is proving to be just as dominant as we all thought. They are up 2-0 against Toronto. We're back here for our game break, presented by Pringles Wavy.
Pringles Wavy.
I almost got that one wrong.
Almost.
But I
Pringles
nailed
Wavy.
it anyway. So let's talk about what we just saw. Yes, the first map, very dominant performance by Philly. Second map, we'll be discussing right after that. But let's start at the beginning. What didn't go well for the Toronto Defiant?
Everything.
They just seemingly didn't find an answer to Carpet. Carpet just had free range.
I don't understand how he was getting all these picks. You saw it here and there. He just seemed to be walking around the map for pretty much free. And honestly, Toronto just didn't really have an answer. They're just walking into death each time, and they didn't try and change anything, adapt. It just just kept going downhill and they didn't make any adaptations.
They just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
When I look at these sorts of situations, I do look to the off tank a little bit because I wonder if this is a situation where, yes, Johnny, I look towards Nevix. And the reason here is that we see other teams have issues in the poking game. What do you look towards, right? You look towards your off tank to at least apply a little bit more pressure, make it something that's a little bit more winnable. But Nevix was holding back most of the time, and it just led to a situation where Toronto, the DPS weren't getting the job done. You weren't seeing many plays in from Nevix, and they kind of played scared.
Let's discuss this lower third. 32-3. And it's even worse if you really dissect it.
I will dissect it for you.
Please
that was 32-3. All 3 of those final blows were from Logix, okay? And there was only one other elimination from someone on their team, and that was to Beast. So 4 of the players on their team didn't participate in a kill in that map.
Didn't touch.
They didn't touch the
anything which
person.
happened there. So that's
Look, you dare
how is that
attack
even
Nevix.
happening?
You dare attack Nevix alone?
It was just him. I said absolutely
this
nothing. That was just
preposterous. I will not preposterous. I will not accept this. This is not tolerable.
I'm feeling a little bit of bias here.
You're 6 players. You play as a team. If you lose 32-3, you can't blame one player, okay? The entire team just shut down during Oasis, and I don't think you can single out a single player. I think it's up to a lot of players like Logix to actually put pressure on Philadelphia Fusion to begin with, because if you want your off tank to make a lot of plays and make space, well, you need to open up that space to begin with. It's not like Nevix can just jump into the backline and put pressure onto Alarm or actually deal with Carpe, because then I think that Philadelphia Fusion are just going to shut him down. You need some kind of threat from the Toronto Defiant as a whole, and I don't think they provided that. So you can't really blame Nevix alone. Yes, I am Swedish. Yes, I am biased.
You can blame everyone.
You can blame everyone.
Yeah, I think
but you cannot single out Nevix, because I will not tolerate that, because I am a long-standing analyst on his desk, and I will not listen to people complain about
long-standing. We're 3 weeks in. Calm down. Well, anyway.
Apex.
I just want to quickly mention again that he was the only one really attacking Nevix. We both said that it was a joint effort.
Okay.
I just think they looked frazzled. Toronto didn't find an answer to anything which was thrown their way. So I think it was a joint effort. Beast died a lot. Nevix may have been a non-factor. Logix didn't find much of a pick there either. So, yeah, that was unfortunate. However, if we're looking at the second map there on Anubis, I do feel like Philly... yes, they were dominant, and yes, we only saw Toronto Defiant taking that first point, but Toronto's offense there was actually really, really good.
And what kicked it off was you get Surefour into the game, Surefour goes on Sombra, applies key pressure to Alarm, and gets things going, where it goes back to what we said in the preamble where, look, you can have your different combinations on Toronto, but if you're setting up a DPS line, I don't think there should be any DPS line for Toronto where Surefour is not in the game. He's too consistent of a playmaker, and it's what he's done his entire Overwatch career. I would not sub out Surefour under any circumstances.
Yeah, and you saw him sort of come in clutch on that first point on their attack, but the thing that really impressed me about Toronto was on their defense when they played the Doomfist dive, sort of Sombra, getting a lot of EMPs, and you saw Philly really struggled. The fact that they even capped it in the end was somewhat of a miracle. But if I'm looking at Toronto and I'm trying to make adjustments moving into the future, I think you can't play the meta matchup against this Philadelphia team. They are just so strong at it. They seem to be one of the most adept teams at it right now. And as Toronto, you just can't step up. So I think just keep playing the Doomfist, keep playing the dive, and play what's going to work for you and potentially win you some maps.
So one player that actually really stood out for Toronto was Agilities and Doomfist. So I'm going to pose you a question, Costa, because I don't want to answer it. But I'm going to ask you
You're going to throw me under the bus? Sweet.
I'm going to ask, is Agilities the Taimu of Flex DPS?
What does that mean? In what context is Taimu the Flex DPS?
You know, can't really pop off, has some great skills, but it's very streaky as a player, and then for just a map or two has an incredible game. I think Agilities, for a large part of that Anubis map, actually carried the defense on his Doomfist. But then some other maps, you just see him Dragon Blade into nothing and just not
Sometimes
doing anything.
So
I am asking you. I am not making a claim. I am simply asking my co-analyst for an answer here.
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is a loaded question because he's a friend of mine. I've played with Brady for a really long time. He's a very streaky player. He has his ups and downs, but I think if you ever give Agilities the space to do what he did on Anubis, he generally will do it. He does struggle with the Nanoblades, but I would say that Nanoblade was just a poor setup from the entire team. He's going too early, not getting the follow-up.
And good play from Philly.
And good play from Philly. So you got to give some other factors. So yes, Brady does have his ups and downs in his career, but but I think as a flex DPS player, he is one of the best ones.
I mean, it's incredibly exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm not in any way, or I guess in a little bit of a way. I am criticizing Brady, but I'm saying he's incredibly fun to watch. So I
Very
appreciate when
backhanded
agility
compliments.
is
Loving it.
popping off.
I really love it.
Look,
No.
I've shattered a lot of shields in my days, but I still have a lot of fans because when I land those shatters, man.
Yeah,
oh, man.
like a question mark?
Oh yes, absolutely. Thank you, Twitter.
Oh my. Well, speaking of Brady and his crisp performance, what was a crunchy performance today? As we do have crunch time. I think I nailed this transition. I don't know why you're laughing about this. No, it is time, however, for crunch time presented by Pringles Wavy. Costa, who crunched?
Okay, we do have Brady crunching, but I think you got to give it to Shore as well. We had Philadelphia coming down the right side, probably the chokiest choke of all chokes, and Shore hits a great EMP, 6-man EMP coming from here. Great follow-up by Toronto Defiant. Brady kills 2 off the bat, kills 3. He's just cleaning everyone up. The thing that impressed me the most about this play, though, is he has 5, right? He could kill the 6th. He could go greedy, but he decides to not kill the baby diva because that is the correct play to make. You don't want to kill her, you want to stagger her. So big props to Brady for the thing because a lot of people would have just killed her for
Lots
the
of restraint required.
That is a lot of restraint.
Yeah.
Costa, I just want to say only the chokiest choke of all time could lead to the crunchiest crunch of all time.
It was very crunchy, that's what I'm saying.
Delicious. Well, now, yes, Philly are up currently 2-0, but we just highlighted some of the bright spots we saw from Toronto Defiant. If you guys were in the coaching seat, what else did they need to do to actually come out with a W?
That's hard because Philadelphia is such a strong team right now. I would like to echo some of Costa's sentiment. I actually think that if you stick to this Doomfist, it might work out. We'll see what maps are later down in the pool and what actually works, right? But it's going to be hard to win that mirror matchup against Philadelphia Fusion because, in my mind, Philadelphia, they're a top 3 team right now in the league. If not, they look.
Say it.
No,
say it.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying the words. No, Super is going to go after me on Twitter. I will not have it again. It's happened once already this season. I will not let it happen. I am not saying Philadelphia is the best team in the league right now.
Are you getting intimidate by Super? Is that what's going on?
San Francisco looked pretty shaky against Dallas Fuel at times because Sinatra wasn't pretty comfortable on the maze. So I'm just saying Philadelphia are looking really crisp right now. They're very crunchy, but I do not know if they're best in the league.
Intimidated by Super. That's really all I have to say.
That was the softest take I've ever seen in my life.
Okay,
I will say it. I think Philadelphia Fusion so far has looked the best that we've seen out of anyone in the league. Right now. I think San Francisco Shock looks shaky in that match. They obviously took down the NYXL. Vancouver Titans went to 5 against Gladiators. Philly are consistently dominating everyone. I think they're the best team in the league right now.
Look at who they've been dominating, though, for the most part. Okay, New York had a bad game. I still would not put Philly over either the Shock or the Titans. I wouldn't.
Wait, we haven't seen enough of anyone, but for right now, I'm putting my career, everything on the line, and saying that I think Philly is one of the best teams right now.
High stakes with that.
You said one of the best.
One of the best.
The best. Fine, I'm committing.
Already back badly. Well, also, I guess lukewarm take in that case. But, no, I do think you can make an argument for them to put them at least very high up. From what we've seen so far, again, everyone needs to calm down. This is we've seen teams just starting to really figure out the meta, figuring out their new team compositions. They're having a lot of rookie players in there. So yeah, there's still a lot to be seen, and we still have some teams which haven't even played at all. So there are still a lot of question marks. However, heading into the second half of this match, Dorado is going to come up next, followed by Kings Row. Do you feel like this is something where we can see more Shore on his Sombra, maybe more agilities on Doomfist?
I think we're going to see more of that. Also, I mean, there's a chance we see Widow come into play, right? Especially as we get into point A. Maybe you get to see Sure4 versus Carpe, where, by the way, Sure4, pretty good at Widow, as it turns out.
Well, I think if they do decide to want to play the Widow, I think you'll see Logics come in. That's generally what Toronto have done in the past, so which is what I want to see, because last time we saw Logics come in for a map to play Widow, it was Havana, and we've all seen the clips of him just absolutely dumpstering. It was XZ, I think it was the Paris Eternals, so I kind of want to see Logics come in and sort of drop the hammer.
And you? Reinforce.
Me?
You stared at me. I thought you wanted to say something.
I'm just enjoying Costa being on the desk and just having great takes. It's a pleasure to be working with you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Do you have anything to say about this game?
I am really looking forward to Philadelphia winning him after.
Wow. Okay, well,
deep.
Yeah,
very.
But so we have Kings Row coming up after that, right?
Yeah, rather than Kings
I think if we go and do end up going to Kings Row and we see Toronto take the map 3, I would actually really like to see the Doomfist come back. I think that was something that they played well with Beast on the Winston, puts Shortfall back on the Sombra. I think it really had sort of plays to their strengths and their style, and it actually makes me excited for this Toronto team because they're showing that they have the versatility that you need once hero pools come into the game.
Well, can Toronto bring it back, or will Philly be closing this series out with a 3-2-0? Let's get back to the rest of the match in DC and stick around because afterwards we'll be back with Watchpoint Reset.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Pringles Wavy. Big crunch, big flavor.
Mic test 1 2, mic test 1 2.
2 1 2, testing. Let's go.
Is this all forehead, baby? Does it get the important stuff?
Oh, the camera's on the side. I can see you guys. Look to your left. Get the camera on your left. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Put the camera.
On camera. It's your camera. Yo, drink your Coke.
Oh, the light. Are they gonna turn off this light?
I think they're staying on.
You.
Meko.
Yep.
Hello?
You're on camera. Camera. Like it was.
Huh? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
You ready, right?
Oh my god!
Bro, I hate smelling the smoke machine.
Just don't smell.
Don't smell? Okay.
Stop.
Is that tickle? Wait, really? What?
I've never been that ticklish in my
Going in, guys.
I got hardened footsies.
I really like what's happening in chat right now.
Shut your mouth. Let's go, Philly.
I miss Boston, Blase.
What?
Blase handsome, actually. Yeah. Yo, so true.
He's okay.
Oh, we lost that fight!
Dante is so stupid.
Dante crazy.
I can't do this.
I really need a muzzle.
We lost that fight!
In my mind, he is the boy wonder of Overwatch right now. This guy, Carpe is ridiculous.
Carpe, again, so many finishing blows for this guy right now.
Carpe, what are you doing? This is unbelievable!
Carpe! Wow, you got too close to Carpe, and that's what happens.
Welcome back, Washington. Philly versus the Toronto Defiant. Right now, Toronto a little bit down in the dumps. 2-0.
I thought you were going to put a stir at the end of that dumps. Toronto is not looking very good. That Oasis was extremely one-sided. Really close to playing for a draw there, but then Philadelphia clutched it at the very last second, which is a demoralizing thing to happen for a team. So we'll see if Toronto can fight back here. They got good players. Like I said, they've beaten legitimate teams like Paris in the very opening game of our Overwatch League 2020 season. But Philly looks really good right now. They look strong at every position.
Oh, we spoke about it before, but Carpe is going to be one of those people that's going to be clicking that left click, something like that, on Logic's head.
Yeah,
Was
no, that was...
I was alluding to
that was dynamite.
But
that's great.
We said Logic's is a streaky player, right?
Yes.
And we saw him pop off against Paris, taking down Exi time and time again. His Widowmaker just looked so clean. Yes. He came in for Oasis and just didn't look that hot. Carpe was just outgunning him left, right, and center.
I mean, our desk kind of said it, though. It's a team game overall. And I agree for a lot of points, but there were some just positioning errors and mistakes. But also Carpe, it's crazy what this Philly team is allowing him to do. He's just on these crazy flanks. He's off on an island somewhere, hitting mile-away shots on McCree to take out his opposing McCree on the other side, while the rest of his team is brawling patiently, 5v6 on the ground. They should be losing some of these fights. And then Ivy is just this kind of quiet storm where if they need a clutch play, he is coming up with it. His May play has been impeccable.
Well, that was right at the end, right? He had that Blizzard.
Yep.
Agilities was popping off on Doomfist. What do you need from a May? Hit a big Blizzard, keep your supports alive in the back using the Ice Wall to block Agilities off, and that's exactly what happened. Let's jump on to Dorado, though. Philly are going to start out on the defense. We got Toronto on the offense. We got Carpe McCree. We have Ivy back on the main. Not too much of a shock. May was played here regardless a lot of the time. Just a lot of your solo queue games, of course. That archway is just so deadly to go up against if you're a Ryan walking through.
May is an extremely high pick rate now, but she did have a lot of places on specific maps when there's simple, like, single entry archways. Dorado comes to mind. You think of Hanamura, King's Row. Like, May has always been, she's always had a spot in the game for the most part, but now she's just really strong, so there's no reason not to pick her. Toronto is going to try to run a dive composition with a Sombra in it. Beast and Nevix on what we call dive tanks, highly mobile, able to get to high ground, isolate targets, try to take them out.
Oh, like we said before, we like this kind of comp, right? But the problem is it does rely a lot on those. Oh, Sherfall is going to have to build in this EMP at least once every couple of fights, at minimum, right? One every fight, not really possible anymore after Goats rotated out and 2-2-2 was implemented.
It's a lot of scouting information here in the backline, making calls, letting know where the position is. Hasn't found a hack target yet. Because, I mean, there's Carpe right there. You gotta be careful.
Astro misses completely, unfortunately, couldn't interrupt the hack. Instantly jumped on by the front line. Beast does end up going down, though, so they do trade. Alarm is still alive and well, and he's going to build that ult charge a little bit quicker now. That funny Astro's going to have to come back from spawn. Nice little pick to start off with, but he is Lucio up. Nice kill onto Carpe, though. Very good start. Poco's going to get slept as well. Should just be about it. Alarm falling. And Agility's and Sherfall at this point as well. They don't really have to be on the payload. They can just sit and build ultimates. That's the best thing about Genji and Sombra. Well, Genji specifically, because you can build ult from quite far away. But now Sherfall can set up for a really nice hack on this corner too.
I think they're coming back in, though. They're setting up to come back in. Everybody is in full fighting form. They will re-enter and contest this point with the Philly defense.
They have to look out for Sherfall, though. One hack on Sado's shield. And it will be also vulnerable. Even Poco, to be fair, as well. Nice kill from Ivy, though, onto Nevix. They did manage to find the D-Mech. Karif going so low. Already used the fire grenade. Hasn't really got too much defense to himself, but a beautiful sleep on the side will do him good for the time.
As tanks are going to peel, though, Ivy's going to be alive, and he's got that Blizzard ready to go. The momentum seems to be slowing down for Toronto, and they want to take it a little bit slowly here because they're building up to the ultimate combo, what this composition is designed to do. But Short4 dies before he gets up to EMP. Carpe with a headshot, very likely a stun into a headshot on a Sombra of all things. They're nanoblading anyway, John.
Nano, there's the blade into the back. Alarm gets it. Oh no, Carpe! Punched him right between the eyes. Takes him out when he's nanoed. making sure everybody's going for the hills as well, activating that Deadeye. He only collected 1 kill. Surefour has almost got EMP. Agility's now switching over to the Doomfist.
2 ultimates shut down by the Fist of the Cowboy in the end of the day. However, Toronto does have a backup plan here. EMP about to come online for Surefour. He gets himself all healed up. It's time for plan B with under 90 seconds left in this fight. Astro's got his abilities, though. He needs to stay out of this EMP and keep his team alive.
Astro's going to be pretty good at peeling away for Carpe, though. There's the Shadow on the payload. Shadow actually just kills Agility straight up. They've got ult to spare as well for the next fight. However, Toronto maybe have the winning ultimate online. That EMP has come out. Agility's again switching over, foregoing that ult charge it built on for Doomfist. Wasn't too much, of course, but every little does count.
This is all about the EMP. Everybody is split up right now, too. Toronto has a great opportunity to hit an EMP and maybe into a self-destruct as well. These can knock around shields. Calyx kicking in there. They have to go all in here for the most part with only 40 seconds left.
Yeah, he's looking for Astro. He's seen him now, and he's been called out as well because that Sonic Blaster shots are ricocheting throughout the map. The potential D-Meg. Beautiful turnaround from the Alarm there. Actually does interrupt the hack. He's still going to get jumped on. Beast is going to get nanoed in the back line once again as he goes primal, juggling Alarm. Alarm needs to sleep up. He doesn't get it. Oh, Carpe from the back, though. I didn't even see him. I don't think Beast saw him either. Surefour's going to find a nice little kill, though. EMP still held on to Ivy with the Blizzard on the point with 10 seconds to go. Toronto with a man up, or quite a few actually, as they do bundle onto this payload. They will have to fend off against Fusion for a little while longer as they do jump back on. However, Blade available. They have the EMP as well. They might not even need it. Agility's still unleashing it to make sure and guarantee Toronto this point. Sato knocks Agilities once again for 6s, but it shouldn't matter. OT ticks down, but they've managed to get the payload. 2 minutes and 30 seconds now for the second phase.
I gotta give Beast a ton of credit there. The Primal Rage to initiate. At very first, I thought he was just gonna try to knock 2 targets away and let his team take a favorable fight on the cart. He's able to isolate Alarm, not able to hit the dart. That's the only way he would have saved his own life. Beast gets that kill, and without your main healer, you saw the flies and the dominoes kind of drop right after that. Kareev on this off angle. Kareev, you see that little icon next to his name? That's a roll star icon.
Uh-oh. He might not be okay. Poker is coming over. Beautiful nade by Alarm. Finished up in an instant.
You ever see a kill in Overwatch and just feel it somehow?
Oh boy, I
felt that one.
Right through my whole body, into my core. Beast is going to be feeling this one in the morning as well. Trapped up against the wall. Sato just walks towards him, claims the kill, and a little bit of ult charge to boot.
Still not much time left as Toronto had to use everything to get that first point. Surefour going down is tough. He was trying to set up for an EMP. He's got it ready to go again. And Kareev is going to have Nano, but Agilities needs to be charging this Blade a little faster, though. The Nano Blades have been unimpressive thus far. Philadelphia also holding on to the barrier, so what's Nano Blade really going to accomplish? I think the EMP and Blade have to go together here.
I think so. Astro's been holding on to speed for a long time as well. Potentially just waiting for Surefour to unleash the EMP. Looking for a hack on Sato, placing a shield towards him though, still taking a whole bunch of damage. Alarm and Funny Astro keeping him alive throughout that entire assault.
Or maybe you Blade here to try to bait out the sound barrier and then EMP and just shred the shields off of people.
Well, they have Nano Blade coming up. That's exactly what they need. And Funny Astro obviously has to peek and make sure everybody gets that, so Surefour potentially setting up for something rather big. Nano. EMP not available now because Surefour actually goes down. Agility still cutting everybody to pieces though. 1, 2, and 3. He's not stepping anywhere near Carpe though this time, but it is going to be enough to push the Toronto Defiant towards this second point.
Astro dies with the barrier. May not have been enough to save him there. The Nano Blade is a very strong ultimate combo. And here's the great thing. Look at the only people without ultimates on Toronto. It's the Nano and the Blade that they just used. It's still 4 remaining. Philadelphia, though, reaching 5 of their own. They should be able to come out and contest this and get back in position. You got to watch Ivy here.
High noon for Carpe, he gets pushed all the way back, hacked on the side as well. You're as good as dead. Alarm is so low, actually. His purple receives the beat. He's going to be alive for the time being, but they still need to touch the payload to stop Toronto just putting it in. Shadow onto it. They do manage to kill off Nevex, potentially de-meching him. Yes, self-destruct is there. EMP eventually used by Surefour, but this should be it. That Blizzard, I'm not entirely sure actually what happened to him. But it doesn't matter because Agility's just resetting off of everybody. Carpe is still alive on the payload, but there you go, he goes down.
For the time being.
That was the one ultimate they needed to hit right there, the Blizzard, and I didn't even notice it, and Toronto didn't either because they just skirted around it.
I think Toronto has the winning formula here, and it's just about execution because they're just diving on Carpe, right? We've talked about it so much, but when you have a player like Carpe, the plan is he can't beat us. Whatever we need to do to take Carpe out of the game, he can't beat us. And so the dive is there, and this Sombra dive is perfect because Short4 is able to get back here, being invisible, knowing where Carpe is. He calls the dive, then Carpe gets the dive, he's trying to roll back, and then there's Short4 there as well, and he didn't even know it. So Carpe makes the switch onto the Reaper, much less susceptible to the Winston dive.
Nano Blade available yet again for Agilities rather soon. There you go, Creeve's got it now. Nano onto the blade, Agility's going on in. He's avoiding Carpe once again. Nice little nade by Alarm there to make sure Agility's has to play a little bit more safe, but the damage has already been done. Alarm and Sado going down, but Funny Extra on the side, hunting the Genji. Manages to pick him off, but Toronto still with the beat at their backs, and Shurfor nearing that EMP once again. Philly on the retreat for the time being.
Oh, Carpe gets hunted down, not enough heals there. The Morva unable to get there too. So right now, Toronto has forced Philadelphia to play heroes that they don't necessarily want to be on based on the composition that they're running, because they're running time and they're isolating targets. So Alarm off of an Ana or a BAP, which would be way better. Carpe not able to play McCree, and Toronto is really making Philadelphia uncomfortable with their comp. It's worked out really well. EMP ready.
A pretty aggressive beat from Kellex. Funny Astro only just got his online. Agility manages to get out of there rather quickly as that Blizzard gets laid out on the payload as Ivy takes care of Beast. He dived a little bit too far forward and was walled off from the rest of his team. Shurfor with the EMP is the last tool that Toronto have to get onto this payload. The punch onto the wall ever so slightly misses, and Shurfor now in a lot of trouble. Kareev doing his work at carrying though as he kills off Carpe. The EMP did strike goals, but Toronto still without a kill as Poco protecting his supports, killing off Kellex, pushing everybody away from this payload, even nanoing Shurfor at this point. Just desperation from the Toronto Defiant.
Shurfor's going to get beamed down by the Coalescence as the cleanup comes in. There's going to be a Blossom for the cherry on top too if they just want to throw that in on the cart. They will do just that. Carpe dances with death in the pale moonlight to secure that one. And I think it was just a little bit of indecisiveness from Agilities on that very last punch. He had somebody sleeping and then he saw someone else and ended up splitting the uprights.
It's looking like Anubis all over again. Toronto, now they got to defend just before that third point hex. Philly, though, still looking on fire. Carpe looking as good as ever. So all a bit about those nano blades. Agilities and Kareev have been so good at coordinating these, and he's been so good at target focus. We're going to jump to a quick break, though, guys. Do not go anywhere. We've got Philly on the attack.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Defiant can still come back in this. Just have to defend that payload just before the third point. Few Philly Fusion fans in the audience right now. They're going to be happy with themselves and happy with how Philly performed in that last round.
Everyone's waiting for the Justice to play, but if you couldn't make it out this weekend, there's the information on your screen. Justice.overwatchleague.com for tickets. We have 4 more Washington Justice homestands, and I can't think of a crowd more deserving of more homestands. It has been electric here. We're coming back in just a few weeks, and then again, and again, and again, because this city has been killing it.
That dog has no idea what is going on, but he loves it anyway.
And he's happy, and he's a good boy.
I want to see more pets of Overwatch, I really do.
I really do, yeah.
Please tweet us your pets.
Those are my favorite posts that I see. Well, Toronto, it's an uphill battle. It is an uphill battle for them for sure. They still have a chance to defend here right before the final point of Dorado to stay alive in this series as Philadelphia leads 2-0. The first map is an afterthought, a complete domination. The second map could have been a draw, unable to work that one out. And Philadelphia, we'll see what they want to run. I do like the Toronto adjustment, though. I think their plan is sound against Philadelphia. Isolate Carpe, don't let him do what he wants. Let's run the dive. It plays to agility strengths on Genji and Doomfist. Short 4, an extremely intelligent player, which you have to be to play the Sombra, make those calls. I like the plan. It's just the execution is not always perfect, not working. And look, Philadelphia's just a really good team right now. So that's all there is to it.
And the scoreline currently does definitely reflect that, not only on this match, just in the first few weeks of the 2020 season. Carpe switching over to the Reaper, so they're going just full on frontline with this comp. Yeah, so Agility's obviously kind of a little bit harder time actually committing anything here.
Carpe's
That's rather in and out. Well, that's a boot. There you go.
That trick is hacked, but it's not going to matter.
I'm out of here. Need healing over here.
Yeah, they might switch this, but I think Carpe was just tired of getting dove on by the Winston.
So nice hack actually onto Poke. He's going to scurry for cover, but a little bit too late. Beautiful ping. See, Agility's like, I'm going to get him out of mech, dude, no worries. Sago's like, wait, what are you doing? You're on the floor. I have a charge key. It's a nice kill. Now they can just push on forward. Agility is going to be able to get back rather fast, though. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. As long as Beast doesn't die here, they should have another re-engagement in this archway.
Gotta be careful. Alarm is nearing that coalescence. Grieve on the other side of things with the Nano, 2 of the fastest charging ults in the game. So the execution goes. Alarm gets hacked!
Alarm gets instantly hacked. Agilities with a cleanup kill. Nice ice block there by Ivy to stop that punch damage coming through from Agilities, but Agilities cleaning up. And Sato taking out the trash.
You think about it, though. I mean, the Sombra and the Doomfist work so well together because the only way to stop a Doom is with abilities, right? I think a counter Sombra might actually be the order of the day because Doom can't do anything without his abilities. So it's a really interesting dynamic, but Short 4's hacking people and Agility's like, thank you very much, that's free, now I have shields, and I'm just gonna roll all over the place, and no one can stop me.
Yeah, it's basically a one team fight right there, right? Yeah. One hack and a kill. Doomfist is very good at doing that, funnily enough. Alarm has Coalescence, can't get hacked again, but he might not have any choice in the matter, as Short 4 does have that EMP straight on top of Philly Fusion. However, Sato, Poco, staying alive through all the damage. That Coalescence is going off. That self-destruct, find the kill onto Alarm as well. Agility is using that ult. It's a little more of a get out of jail free card than anything else, but that payload is ever so slightly rolling back as Shadow gets completely dodged out, and Toronto doing a fantastic job of just negating Fusion right now. Death Blossom on top of payloads, and we're not doing all too much for Carpe there, actually kind of shooting into it. Not the best wall I've ever seen.
An ambitious Death Blossom is what we would call that in the industry. It was just right around the corner. Gonna be able to clean up Agilities, though, and that is huge. It has been a scrappy fight, but that's how Philly usually likes it in all of their competitions here. And now they are cleaning up. And I really want to go back to that time they got EMP'd and Alarm stayed out of it. He kept everybody alive. And yeah, maybe it didn't seem like a one fight, but that's a lot of health bars that don't go Toronto Defiant's way into their ultimate pool. Alarm gave his life for it, but he kept his team in position to roll through, and they fought really hard to take that position in the stairwell. So Alarm died during that, but the Coalescence kept everyone alive during that EMP. Another great play from him on yet another hero.
Sato was purple through that whole thing as well, which is the scariest thing in the world. Now they have capped the first point, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. There's the Blizzard straight on top of the Monkey. Instant freeze there as well as you just hold the left click. Nothing Beast can do. He's been frozen for eternity. Let him play Overwatch, please. Oh, Alarm finishing him off with the orb. And Agility's in a bit of a sorry situation. It's going to be able to get out alive, but the damage has really been done at this point. They don't have a front line to really play behind. They are just chasing them down. A hack onto Ivy's not going to do much. However, that nade will do a little something to stop him being so aggressive.
What more can you say about Ivy? What a perfect defensive blizzard that was. He saw the nano get used, and he's like, okay, guys, this is going to be our immortality field for the moment. Everyone hang out and fight inside the blizzard. They can't do anything to us. They hang out, they pick up the main.
Another EMP might come out, though. He's looking for Astro, and he's looking for Alarm. Astro's just backing off. You can see the beams, though. That's the big thing he's got to watch out for. Astro's hiding around the corner. You have to stay in line of the LOS, of the supercharger, of course, so as soon as those beams break, he knows Astro's going to go try and hide, which is exactly what he's doing now. He's actually just hunting him straight up. They found him somehow, though, and Carpe, yet again, how does he keep finding these people that are invisible? Potentially just got revealed ever so slightly, and Carpe just holding the left click. There's the beat from Astro. They know you can use his safety now. Surefour's going to come back in a moment, but that payload is so close to that second point. Self-destructs on top of it, kills off Carpe, didn't have shift, and now Surefour is back with agilities. Meteor strike on top of the tanks, the shield negates the damage, but the EMP shreds through those shields, and agilities gets to work.
3 meters away, but I think it's going to stay that way. Toronto investing everything to make sure they can hold that second point, and you know how good it is on hybrids and payload maps to hold at second point because it's a long way back to get where you were. That is Poco being escorted to the glue factory. Philadelphia is going to have a chance to come back in on this one. But yeah, Carpe's, I mean, just, you saw it yesterday, the blind flashbangs. He's that rare combination of insane mechanical skill and just galaxy brain game sense. We'll see if he's going to have the opportunity to use this Death Blossom, though. That can set it up. A Blizzard into Death Blossom is nice because it gets the kills quicker. But playing very spread out is the Toronto defense.
Yeah, Kelix has actually switched over to the the Brigitte, even. They wanted to take this fight on the ground, or at least Kelix and Nevix and B-Star. Agility is going to have to get out there rather fast if he comes across Ivy. Waits for that Matrix, is frozen up. Perfect time to Blizzard, but doesn't want to do it just yet. Alarm gets taken out. They don't want to fight this, maybe. No, I tell a lie. Ivy's still laying out the Blizzard. Alarm is dead. They do manage to find the D-Mech onto Nevix as well. However, Agilities has still got ult, and Carpe having to use the shift to get out of there, so he can't play aggressively either at this point, and Sado just gets taken out. Just the aggression from Kelix on that high ground. Kariv even, sorry, on that high ground.
Super commitment up there too, but now Carpe is able to dislodge them on the high ground. Still ults incoming here. Philadelphia, last best chance here. 30 seconds left.
Okay, Carpe's in the back line now, hunting with the Death Blossom, but Surefour once again has the EMP. The beat's going to come through. It's the perfect time. Surefour can wait this one out. He's got the rally armor as well. They're going to be so hardy in the face of danger now. Carpe's been launched into the air. EMP came through. That's 5 people hacked on up. Alarm with the coalescence is going to do absolutely nothing to stop the onslaught of the Toronto Defiant. OT's coming in a matter of moments. They're still contesting the payload, but they haven't got a lot to work with. Carpe's going to come back with Death Blossom, but I think this is going to be it. No way Alarm surviving that one, and Philly get held at second point by Toronto.
Toronto Defiant living up to their name, defying the odds, defying death, and fighting back into this one. We got ourselves a fight on our hand, Jaws, and I'm glad to see it. I hate shutouts. I hate when teams get squadooshed, as it were, and they look very comfortable. I love this plan. I love watching Dive. I don't care what version it comes in.
Kariv with the nano on the Genji. That's what we want to see. We want to see more Surefour as well with these sick EMPs. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. Map number 4 coming up soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. Rank up with America's first and only nationwide 5G network.
There we go. Toronto's time to get that reverse sweep.
Yeah, feeling it right there. I've been known to bust a move myself. Me and Lane will have a dance-off at some point in time. That's going to be on pay-per-view, though. Got to get those bucks in. But obviously bringing something to this team. The first map, Short 4 didn't play. I kind of agree with our team in LA that that's probably a mistake. I don't see why you take him out of the lineup. Calls games, got good game sense, seems to be loose up there, and they look like a different team. The second map didn't go their way, but they're clawing their way back into it. Man, it's really refreshing to see a non-mirror match. The styles come into play. You're forcing Carpe off of the McCree, which I think is a good first step into trying to beat Philadelphia.
Yeah, I really like Agility switching over from the Genji to the Doomfist when the time calls for it as well. Doomfist gets so much done, just like the vanilla kit. The ultimate, sometimes a little bit so-so, a little bit hard to actually just execute people straight up.
That's nice of you. No, it's an escape button.
It's
you really don't. You barely get kills with a pistol.
It's a get-out-of-jail-free card, let's be honest ourselves
I
here.
mean, look, it was nice when we had like Zarya's in the meta and you get the grab and then you get like the Space Jam dunk onto the grab, but generally just he does enough with his base kit that he doesn't need a good ultimate. That would be unfair in my opinion. Here's how we got here. Oasis, let's forget about that one. I'm sure Toronto Defiant does. That we went to Temple of Anubis, and that one could have been a draw. Philadelphia last second. Dorado was Defiance, and I believe that music is from your homeland.
Yes, it is. It's good old Kings Row. Fan favorite, one of my favorite maps as well. I think Hybrid's my favorite game to be honest. Just because of Kings Row.
How did the clock get its name? How did Big Ben get its name?
The Big Ben is not the clock, it's the bell inside.
Oh, it's the bell inside.
Yep, it's the bell inside. And it's not going to ring for another 8 years, I believe, apart from the year, well, the 2020 that just happened because they're repairing the bell. They've got repairs going on. Kind of sucks.
Our country has broken and cracked bells too. I get it. We have a lot in common.
Your history, Joseph, just goes straight over my head. You know I got a D in GCSE history? Not one of my proudest grades. I was only ever good with computers.
Well, let's take a look at these compositions. Philadelphia seems to be back on the old standby. Toronto going to try to match it with Shore 4 taking over the McCree duties. So we do have a mirrored matchup here. Just kind of playing it standard, adjustments as need be.
These nades from Crew have just been so good. Sato Poco went purple for a second. Poco's going to get slept. However, they can't get the pin, unfortunately. It's all about Agility. He's just threatening the front line with these walls and just holding down left like for eternity.
Kind of what we've seen on Kings Row is everyone playing patiently and waiting for your McCree or May to get a pick, or the other team to make a mistake. But it's been a very patient dance so far in Out 2020.
It's all about the walls. Whoever can get the best wall off and isolate the main tank or someone on the other team really does their job a little bit better there. Speaking about isolation, thank you very much. Carpe, flashbang straight over the shield. And Beast goes down, so they're going to have to go for a smaller reset here. However, Sato does end up falling as well. They've got Lucio, so they could speed him back from spawn. However, Toronto still pedal to the metal. I'm going to take high ground. Ivy's going to meet them up there. You've got to be a little bit more careful than that, unfortunately, Kellex. Didn't expect Ivy to use the wall to escort himself to high ground.
Yeah, Kellex gets punished there. Still putting some progress on the point is this Toronto team, and they're going to have a lot of ultimates. They have the low ground advantage, but it's the high ground advantage you want.
That was almost too perfect for Carpe. Drops to the ground. Oh, no! Didn't hit any of the scores. Kellex came in there actually with the beat at the very last second there.
Just came in at the absolute right time to save his team from that Deadeye, but Sato's now back in the mix too. This one is a brawl.
Agilities and Beasts are going to go down. Alarm is traded out, however, and Funny Astro is so close to that beat. If he really needs it, he can press the panic button. If he gets interrupted, it will be a disaster. But Toronto still a little bit of percent on the clock, on the board.
Heal Poco, please. Someone heal Poco, please.
He's getting healed, you're fine. Ivy's got Blizzard. Agility's no way near. Now he's moving in. Instantly put up the wall. That was actually perfect coming out from Agilities, but that self-destruct, even better. From Poco, straight over the wall, killing off Beast. That wall was so sick, though. I want to touch on that really quickly again. Agility's put up the wall as soon as he saw that animation come out, so the snowball hit the wall, didn't travel any further, and then they could just kind of hide around it. And the bomb was too good.
I think they should buff May so that snowball goes through walls.
Oh, imagine a world.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't used to go through barriers.
Don't remind me, please.
That fight went on forever. There's only 90 seconds left on this clock here. Agilities needs to get to Blizzard. That will be the lockout ultimate that they need here. Beast and Nevix with the tanks with their ultimates online. Reeve doesn't really have a great nano target. Maybe save it in a reactionary nano to try to heal someone up, give that giant burst healing. I like this rotation from Toronto. You've seen New York do this rotation a couple times before. Now you have the high ground advantage.
Carpe's there. Carpe's gonna have to drop at some point. Oh, the flashbang from around the corner was perfect. And a nice sleep as well onto Poco. The bio grenade to follow up, then the charge into the wall at D-Mech. Beast is in a lot of trouble though, a world of hurt. As it ends up getting taken down. Sado is nanoed on the point, but didn't really find all too much. But has got the shatter and no shield to worry about. The beat used also aggressively as Sado is almost escorted out. He couldn't get there in time. And Nevix with a self-destruct will finish off Alarm as well. 35 seconds remains for the Defiant. 2 ticks on the board. There's no way they're going to be able to come back into this. No, Billy.
It was close for a second.
It was close.
Because Poco got 2 on his way out. He was just trying to leave and he found 2 in the hotel. He was able to get Kareem and Shortfort on his way out. Bunny Astro tried to get some last second heroics, but in the final attempt, the Toronto Defiant will unlock the first point and thus the payload moving forward. And because Philadelphia were staggered in that fight, they're gonna have to give up this great secondary defense point, the archway, as the cart moves all the way through. Seems like they're gonna have to set up on a corner because they're just waiting for Carpe. The jingle jangle of those spurs still very distant.
Ivy's got the Blizzard advantage though, and that's what I'm scared about, and I'd be scared if I was the Defiant as well. You can set up Carpe kind of easily here, however, there are a lot of places to hide from, not only Blizzard, but from the Deadeye too. Philly Fusion just taking the fight on this corner. Not too much of a shock. Double wall. Although they're going to be able to sneak under there if you do crouch, but yeah, they're not going to dice with death, not when Beast's got shatter. Slowly inching their way around the corner. Beautiful stun. Straight over the top of Shadow's shield. The bio grenade to follow up as well, but instantly Nevix eating that Blizzard, stopping them from going down. That Deadeye's good though. That's a lot of damage from Carpe, instantly killing off Beast. That wall isn't going to stop them for long. Jumping on the payload straight over the top 2. Carpe comes in clutch for the Fusion.
As a nice little knock him down and rack him up for Sado and Carpe there. Now, it's interesting to see that they're back into this cart because they were in position to try to hold that archway if they had wanted to. They're a full fighting 6-up right now, but perhaps they feel a little bit pressured by perhaps a back cap. We've seen a lot of those, honestly, in the early days of the Overwatch League 2020. So just gonna play cart here, escort it on its way back home. Alarm and Astro nearing their ultimates. You have to think that a Nano Beast is incoming for the Toronto Defiant.
A couple of support ultimates on the line for the Fusion though. You just got to counter Nano at this point. Or Nano someone. Oh, that's a good pick. That's the actually perfect pick. Alarm getting double headshot by Sherfor. The nanoing Beast as well to present another threat. But Poco actually eats the Blizzard. Is it going to mean anything actually? I'm not sure it does. Still eating is good to get it off the field, but Toronto still churning their way through the Fusion. Nice little stall of extra time there by Ivy. Has the Blizzard at his back, so they can, again, hold fairly far forward here. Defiant are going to come back with the Doomfist as well to make sure they are 6 people on the payload if Fusion decide to contest.
No, they're going to get this point. Fusion is not in any sort of position to be able to contest, and that is the cap. And some time on the clock. $150 remaining for this Toronto Defiant push forward. Much better. And Short-4, I mean, I just like the style they're playing with Short-4 in there. You got to think those are aggressive calls to flank on left. Walls up, though.
Yeah, has been nanoed as well. Sado, oh, look at that. Sado gets frozen up instantly, but it feels like he was the bait. All the resources were just shoved into him from the Defiant to try and get everybody away. But, hey, guess what? There's a Blizzard at your back. There's no way you're going to be able to run away from that one. And they do hold the corner with a minute remaining.
Main tank players are saints. It has been a strange year to be a main tank in the Overwatch League. They get slept, they get frozen, they get used as bait several times, and I think it's exactly what that was. We're going below a minute. Sado's gonna have Shatter. See if they try to do the combo again.
Self-destruct over the top. Kelix finds the melee kill. Beautiful Shatter from Sado. That's it, under the payload with the Deadeye on top. Kelix, goodbye. 50 seconds now remain.
Knock him down, rack him up, rawhide. They do it again as the Earth Shatter goes down. The Deadeye comes in to clean it up, and that is all she wrote for that fight. Toronto Defiant nearing one of their final attempts here. They can attempt the same combination. Knock him down with Earth Shatter, clean him up with Deadeye. These are the only ultimates they have online, and they can buy some time, though, to get these support ultimates, but I think if they finish this map, it's going to be an OT.
Okay, he's going to get escorted around the side. There's a lot of skulls lighting up the screen. Doesn't quite find anything. That actually just got 8. However,
this Philadelphia team is so good at disengages. I mean, it's just like yesterday. Their disengages are the cleanest in the league right now.
you just got to eat these blizzards, man. That's all you need. Ivy's going to have his online agilities soon as well. OT's going to come online very shortly. Beat's coming through. There's the shadow. That's 4 people down. Sano instantly cleaned up. And Beast putting his shield back up, making sure no one else takes any damage coming out. Ivy's blizzard just disappears off the map. There's no way that Philly are going to finish this one off. That's Toronto. Netting the payload. 3 points on the board. However, clocks did run down 2-0, so there's a very clear win or draw con now for the Philly Fusion. They just finished with over a minute. They'll be as good as gold.
You see him right there. Beast is playing really well. It's reminiscent of the very first time we saw Toronto in our New York homestand. Kind of feast or famine. Gets those enormous shatters. That shatter at the end cleans it up for the Toronto Defiant, much to the chagrin of ZP, Mr. Andrew Rush. Not the highest on the Beast stocks, but...
No, Zucchini Panini is my favorite.
Zucchini Panini is CPs. That's where CP comes from, actually.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
In case you guys didn't know.
Yeah,
he
it's
says
actually Zucchini Panini. Yeah. It's just his favorite food.
At some point, he said it was Zerg Protoss, and I was like, whatever, Zucchini Panini.
Yeah, whatever, man. That's your 3rd Zucchini Panini today. You need to calm down, dude. Just start looking like one soon. That's what I'm used to saying.
A very close match as far as kills go, 22-19, but it was just the clutch ultimates at the end which drove it home. You know, I like the Earth Shatter into Deadeye combo, but if you think about it, Short 4's Deadeye was truly his owning Deadeye. You pushed them all the way back, it bought all the space in the world, and then when Philadelphia tried to re-engage, you saw the little 180 shatter from Beast that kind of closed out the map for him. Very well played there. Looks a lot cleaner right now, the Toronto Defiant. They're making decisive calls. They probably get second point, that very first kill and alarm, because that's a speed boost on the flank. Philadelphia had no idea that was coming. They were caught sleeping, and Short 4 made him pay. See what the Philly offense has.
Griff setting up for another cheeky nade. Who's it going to hit? Anybody? No, I think they just got eaten. Yes, it did. We're good. Going to try and escort them up across the hotel onto the high ground so they don't get walled off. If you're ever against May and solo queue, this is what you need to do. Go to hotel, then drop down. Best way to play it. Nice nade, actually. Agilities and Nevix go purple, but they're going to be okay for the time. So funny, Astro trying to find a big boop here. Yeah, so now they've actually surrounded them in the mega room. Kellex is going to get chased out. Carpe running straight towards the supports. Kellex and Kareem forced away from the enemy team.
They tried to escape, but there's no escaping a somersaulting Cowboy. He gets down in there. Really nice peel there as Carpe was on the low ground getting pressured. Poco's in there. And a clean, as clean can be, engagement from Philadelphia Fusion.
That wall was 900 IQ as well, because that stopped the tanks from actually going down the stairwell. It blocked off the stairwell completely, because that's where you want to hide support, right? Because then you could just back off the Mega if you get injured. Ivy's May has just been so good.
I mean, May's meta, and if you don't have a good May right now, you're going to get dominated by teams who do have a good May. Carpe is now feeling a little safer.
Almost picked off Kellex.
This Carpe guy's not very good. Hit those shots.
Yeah, wow, imagine missing shots, man, when D.Va's around with Matrix. Uh-oh, someone's creeping up on him. Oh, it's Sherfor. He knows his game. A howdy and a goodbye. He's gonna die, but they do trade Cowboy for Cowboy. Uh-oh. Oh, the Arctic Explorer is going down as well. Uh-oh, Sano just swings for the heavens. That's the commitment there by Nevix, right? By Poco, sorry.
Yeah.
He commits to Sherfor, and then it almost forces Defiance, like, okay, we need to help him, maybe we need to throw our resources to try and get him. And Sano's like, no, not today. You have to battle through me first.
It's looking really one-sided on the Philadelphia offense here. Remember, Toronto finished in overtime, so if Philadelphia can finish with some time on the clock, over a minute, Toronto's best hope is a draw, and we saw how badly their last draw hope went. Philadelphia just be playing with house money on that point. Still a lot of Overwatch left to be played, though. This is a highly contentious point on King's Row. Ivy and Carpe with the DPS ultimates ready.
Blizzards, both sides are available. Nevix and Poco just watching the animations to come out. They're going to be battling on this corner for a little while. It's who makes the play first. High Noon launched out. Sherfor over the top. Using the May wall for height, doesn't find anybody. Now Carpe's turn. Poco is actually set. Ivy's going to go in with the Blizzard. Nano as well. They're throwing a lot into this fight. Self-destruct on top. Doesn't quite find anybody on that. Beautiful headshot. Mixed up with Alarm's rifle. Does finish off Nevix. Not getting the remake at all. And Nano Surfer was pushed on forward to the front line too, but he didn't have any backup. Another nice shatter coming through from Beast. The wall comes up, actually stopping him and his momentum forward, but it was a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, Ivy going down early in that fight, man, they just didn't have the control of the space that they needed against an opposing May. Sato slip, he's so close to Shadow.
He has to die right now if he gets kept. Oh, he's alive somehow. How does this happen?
Alarm's pretty good.
And the Matrix as well coming through from Poco. They know Beast is no way near this Shadow. Sato can just play up to his face. Just knuckles to knuckles. Got to be careful though, you are purple. Now backing out with the speed boost from Freddy Astro. The Shadow around the side. Manages to hit down one. Nevix is going pretty low, but Kareem keeps him alive. Nano on to Beast. This sustain coming through from the Toronto Defiant is just ridiculous.
Counter Nano goes on to Sato. Sato gets stayed alive, frozen. This fight's been going on forever. That might crack it open though.
Carpe and Beast. Carpe goes down, Beast follows. Like, no, Carpe gets the kill, sorry, Sherpa goes down and Beast follows even. My mind's just full of fish, I don't know. Carpe's just popping off a complete team kill for the Fusion right now, and 4 minutes in the time bank. I said, this is such a good position for them to be in. If they cap here with more than a minute, Toronto once again
we have seen bonkers fights on Kings Row second this year. I don't know what is going on with that point, but fights seem to last for minutes. Teams refuse to leave and give up on fights and just re-engage. That fight went on forever. Philly in a great position to get this Deadeye in. The wall comes off. He's going to try to find something on the right side. Cancels.
Struck on the back. Or Carpe with the YOLO flash. Sardo's frozen up on the side, but look at this. Instant beat. That nade's going to hit 2 people, but he's still alive. No, Sherpa runs him down. The aggressive return beat from Kellex. It's going to push the Fusion back to their spawn, just waiting for Sato. They still have a lot of time in the bank. Still have 3 minutes to work.
Sato, I mean, the funny thing is when Sato gets frozen, it takes an entire team to bring him down because the Philadelphia supports just start pumping it all into him. Ivy's going to have a Blizzard of his own here, going to try to line it up.
This is perfect, actually. Sheffel's going to unleash the Deadeye, has to roll out of it. In fact, didn't even click to send it out. Nano of both main tanks, Beast playing a little bit more passive. As self-destruct being launched in by Nevix, and you'd have thought Beast would kind of run up to him at that point, but he's so scared of Carpe with the flashbang over the top. Speaking of that, that's exactly what happened, and managed to get the shield back up in time to stop that Shadow going through from Sato, but they're still managing to hold on. Maybe not for long though, as Sherfall gets picked off. Carpe with the Deadeye on top of the payload, doesn't find anybody, but buys a lot of space.
Trying to clean it up now. This is a great spot for McCree. Even before he goes meta, you can see him on the last point of King's Row, but Ivy goes down to Kellex somehow, and I believe that should be enough for the Toronto Defiant to hold on this defense. Important to note the clock here. 2 minutes left. They want to finish with over a minute to not give Toronto Defiant a chance at a second offense. But right now, the Defiant are holding strong. Their economy is in good position. I think the Fusion want to win this one. You have to wait for Alarm to get the Nano and go in, but Kareev has been with him every step of the way. It's been Nano and counter Nano for the last 10 minutes.
Agilities has the Blizzard once again. Ivy's getting close to the Blizzard. That's what it's been playing around thus far. Killing off Sato, killing off Carpe has been the main aim right now. Sherfall, always go around the wall, you got to be careful. Everybody's going to scurry for cover. It was important there that Sato didn't actually take that shot either, doesn't want to risk anything happening. And shield health as well, of course.
I think it's a battle between the Maze right now. The wall comes down early on both sides, but they're both Blizzards ready.
Ivy's in trouble. First Blizzard coming out from Agilities. The Shadow on the front line. Ivy goes down on the floor. Funny Astro and Alarm follow them as well. Perfect bomb from Nevix, finishing off the May. The retreat as well from Defiant to stop the Billy from jumping on them after the beat was used. What an expensive fight for the Fusion. As we are nearing what could be the final fight here. 1 minute now remains, so Toronto Defiant have survived for 4 minutes almost on this corner.
It's looked really good. Agilogist being a little bit more aggressive than Ivy during these situations. The counterpoint to that, though, is Ivy still has his Blizzard. That is the last best chance for this Philadelphia offense to get in here.
Deadeyes again. Nevix with the E, though. That's not what you want to see. Sherfall does get stunned up wildly, like flinging himself around, just trying to find a semblance of a direction as Funny Astro was on the back. A beautiful shadow from Sato. They're going to get jumped up with the beat. Just came in just in time. Kellex It's going to go down as Beast gets shoved into the wall. Astro and Sado just on a mission to kill off the back line. They finally push it around this corner. The Fusion have 15 seconds remaining now. It's going to complete an OT. Defiant just need to stall, wait for Beast to come out and hit a shatter of a lifetime.
You can't panic here. You have to come out as a team. You have plenty of time. They get walled off one side.
They're okay though for the time being. Nevix is touching the payload. The Blizzard's going to come in, but Poco eats it. No Blizzards here today. A shatter on the ground. That's a good start. Focus down Poco and you might have the W. Funny Astro falls, but they do trade out Nevis's mech, and Agility's falls as well. Sado and Beast in the 1v1, but Carpe comes in clutch once again, picking up 2. Philadelphia Fusion refusing to go down without a fight. The same with Sherfor, Nadoed on the side, but Carpe once again surviving with the help of Alarm. The Blizzard on the point will do it. Both teams will get a minute each to go on attacks once again.
We were talking about Carpe the other day, and you've seen the highlight reels, and you remember in Season 1 when he was this guy, but I call him Clutch, and I think that's really important, but it seems to extend to this entire Philadelphia Fusion team. Last fights for this Philadelphia team have been crazy. It's like they find another gear, like they find this call, their mechanics reach a different level, everybody just seems to reach this extra level, and I can't, even in this very early part of the year, this Philadelphia team is winning final fights. They're taking away losses and turning them into victories. It is insane that they keep finding this little bit extra, this little bit of oomph when they really need it. And I just think it's a team that you can almost never count out. Until it's zeros on the clock and it says defeat on that screen, Philadelphia has a chance.
1 minute apiece. Toronto on the offense. To Fusion, playing rather aggro here at the front. They just want to Maywall people off, although going towards that hotel, that's what you want to do. Up and around, like we said before. Alarm setting up for a nice nade too, but it's all been about the maze, like you were saying before, and the Divas, to be fair, as well. The amount of blizzards that have been eaten in this match is crazy.
Some hungry Divas today. We'll see if that nade hits.
Oh, nice.
Or, man, nade, and it's not really important for the anti-heal, but it's important for that 15% he just got.
Easy peasy. Creve will get just about that by healing everybody up, but Alarm's going to be more than safe up here. Beautiful spot too, just bounce it off that wall exactly like that. Agility's had to pop ice spot there so fast. Just saw that purple going through. Beast ends up going down with Carpe on the high ground. He's shooting away from above, and now, well, Toronto have one more fight. That is it, and they killed Nevis Expect. Nevis should get mad staggered here. No, he gets taken out, but it doesn't matter, to be fair. It was a stagger enough. Agility goes down late. They've got the Lucio to speed back in, but they've got one more fight. 15 seconds remains for the Defiant to get anything on point.
Let's play a little mini game called Where's Carpe Going? He is hiding up on the high ground right now, just to the right of your screen with both healers. Sado also in a strange spot. Philadelphia team all spread out. Carpe now just behind the point.
They have to touch, they've got it. Kellex managed to cause OT, but he gets taken down for it. Pays with his life. Carpe with the Deadeye. There's the charge. It's perfect. Beast goes down. Had to hold shield. Could not retaliate. Sado is going to get taken out, though, but the issue is now for Defiant. They're going to have to get back to the point in time and kill Carpe. He's still on the flank.
He's trying to get Karib, but Karib in great positioning. He's behind the wall. There's no angle.
Funny Astro is going to go down. They managed to take out both mechs as well. Poco falling in Baby Diva form. Sherfall comes back. The Nano was all that he needed to stand up to the Fusion. Sado has got that shatter, but they can hold so close. Defiant looking good, though. They have got Blizzard. Deadeye's going to come up soon as well. If they leave that payload, this round will be over.
It's going to be overtime now, but really smart play here from Toronto to try to create some space ahead of time, so maybe they won't get held off in the archway, and it seems to have scared Philadelphia back. Huge brain play by Karib to sit behind that wall, knowing that Carpe is that flanking McCree, who will rotate through the hotel. If Karib is 2 feet forward, I think that Carpe ends that push alone. He gets Karib down, and then Shoreful would fall soon after. See where the Philly engagement is. Okay, let's play another game of Where's Carpe Going? He's on the high ground rotating now.
They must know he's here. Yeah, they know. They know.
It's almost becoming like it's easy to know where he is because he's kind of predictable that he's going to be in a weird spot.
Yeah, Sherfall was in a bit of an odd spot as well, potentially wanting to catch Carpe by surprise. Gonna have to take a long rotation. This is actually a perfect time for them to strike. Agility's laying out that Blizzard. Ivy's in a world of hurt. There's no way he escapes that. Perfect placement from Beast's shield as well. The Shadow's gonna come out. Beast is gonna get nano slept. Goes back down on the ground again. Get up, man. You gotta fight to win. Sherfar on the sideline, kills off Carpe. flanker who? This is what you want to see from Sherfall when he gets put on the roster and put on the stage. Sado goes down to Beast, and now Kareem just keeps everybody alive and well as they push towards this second point.
Little style there from Shore4 as well as he gives them the hello there, hey there on the way out. They will grab this second point. Of course, no time extensions here. We're in overtime. It's been overtime for a while, so you have to keep a constant presence on the point. It's almost at the point where a boop off of the cart will end the map. So you have to be very cognizant of where that opposing Lucio is, be very cognizant of your positioning.
This is such a sick push for a minute as well, but it could all end here with this Blizzard. However, Toronto Defiant were able to actually get out of it. The Shadow on the side to send Poco back down again after that sleep. Perfect counter charge from Sado, and he's bright purple. The time to strike is now. Carpe goes down yet again first. Feast or Famine currently for the Kree as Ivy also goes down. This is going to be Defiant pushing it all the way to this third point. Just dying on payload now is Alarm. Defiant have got one more fight to sink this one in. They got a couple of ults to do it with as well.
This one has to be Nano onto Sado, let him be aggressive, let him try to get shoulder length with the shields, and then hit a shatter, then clean it up with Carpe's Deadeye. That would be the order of operations. They might not even get out though. They do a nice split so Poco can touch.
What a beautiful nade though onto Poco. Self-destruct on point, as well as the Blizzard. Throw everything in, you might as well. Funny Astro donates himself, but kills Agilities, but it doesn't matter. Let's go. Toronto Defiant with 1 minute. Take it all the way to third and find the cap. Fusion have got a tall task ahead of them.
6 points on Kings Row. We've seen 6-6 on Kings Row before, many of times, so it is possible, but Toronto put themselves in the best possible position to bring us to a map 5. A lot of never say die in this team. The momentum has clearly shifted to the other side of the stage. Philadelphia, once they lost that first point, really did nothing. Carpe tried to make big individual plays, but Toronto was on it 100% of the time. They knew exactly where he was. Carpe disappeared in that second time, and it just seemed like that hot hand went right over to Shore4, and he was hitting every shot he needed, being clutch. Agilities there. I mean, you can talk about every part of the Toronto Defiant in that last push because they all contributed a great deal.
It's funny, it's like Carpe got scared off by Defiant, right? And then we saw Sherfall doing exactly the same thing. And you see an Infusion like, there's no way Sherfall's gonna flank, man. No way. Carpe was just there. They scared me off. Like this, they have to fight a 6 right in front of us. No, you gotta watch out for Sherfall. He's gonna do exactly the same thing as soon as Carpe is out of the picture.
All right, first thing is first for the Philadelphia Fusion to try to win this map. Take first point, then never get off the cart. Minute left to get 3 more points on Kings Row.
The reverse sweep is very much a possibility for the Defiant. Big rotation. Never. Oh, that nade! What in a world? Are you serious? Kareem is an absolute animal.
I think people forgot about Kareem. There was a little bit of time when the Valiant weren't playing so well last year, and you kind of forgot about him. But like I said, he's got that Roll Star icon now, his name, for a reason. Showed up big in Stage 4 of Season 2. But what I really like there is that Toronto didn't wait for it. They went after it. Aggression wins games in Overwatch, and Toronto has flipped the switch. 10 seconds left, Philadelphia's last chance, and we're going to map 5.
They got a touch. They got a touch. Greaves gonna have this nano as well for this fight. Very early wall. Attempted sleep dart to stop Philly from actually pushing on to the point. OT ticking down. Another beautiful nade, this time on the side of Alarm. Greaves nades himself to get himself a little bit more healthy than he once was. Beast is gonna get nano, but he's gonna get slapped right in front of that taxi. Not really where you want to be. Sado slams him into the wall. A flashbang as well. Ivy throws in the snowball right into Nevix's mech. A beautiful start from Defiant. They kill off Poco as well. Ivy's going to be nanoed in the front line, but they can give up ticks. They only need to just win the fight. That's it. That's all they need to do. But no, Funny Astro and Ivy are going to strike back. Yeah, but it's still going to be OT, Hex.
Yes, Agility isn't getting anything out of his Blizzard either, so not the biggest mistake by Ivy. Well, obviously, you don't want to get your ultimate eaten. But yeah, now we're back down to it. Carpe was getting a couple of clutch kills there to open things up for the Philadelphia Fusion. And as you mentioned, it is just stay on the cart to stay alive. I said it though, unless it says zeros in defeat, you don't want to count out this Philadelphia team. They have pulled rabbits out of the hat in the past.
Deadeye available for Carpe. They have Beat as well. Near that music. How tense it must be up on the stage right now. High Noon used. Currently for Carpe is just... Oh, that was an extremely ballsy play. Putting that wall up on the bookstore to stop Carpe from going through it. Self-destruct in the front. Nice little turn there from Sado. Doesn't go down just yet, but they did use their beat. The shadow into the payload, but straight into the wall. Doesn't find anything as Carpe with the Deadeye flashbang over the payload to try and find something, but another beautiful nade from Kareem. There's going to be a beat coming through from Kellex as well. They run down Alarm. Carpe in trouble on the back line. They still need to touch the payload too. A Blitz is going to come out, but Beast kills Sado. But Poco goes back with the bomb. Kareem and Agilities go down. Clutch after clutch after clutch from the Philly squad. They're not out of this just yet.
Oh, this will be Philly taking it. The flashbang over the shield, a ability as old as time, trying to kill Reinhardt's. Carpe, what's so impressive is that he held his own. They tried to isolate him. Nevix got in the back line, tried to beat him up, but it was Carpe who came out on top of that. That allows the rest of his team to keep pushing the cart. The Blizzard comes up. Ivy stepped up huge. Now we'll see if the Defiant want to contest here. There's really not a huge reason to try to contest. The checkpoint does nothing at this point. It's just about winning one fight on defense. All you have to do, win a single fight. But they want to fight at the checkpoint anyway. Old habits die hard.
2 support ultimates available for Fusion coming up. They've got the beat. They can just surge forward with it. That's what they've been doing for the longest time. Carpe's holding so far back. He knows he's going to have that ult rather soon. Sado marching forward, gets the nano. He's in a lot of trouble, though. The High Noon's coming out, and Sado receives the beat just in time, somehow staying alive once again. The support from the Philly Fusion squad is insane. He follows it up with the Shatter. They're going to be able to complete the second point on London with a minute. OT is still ticking down.
I want to play main tank for Philadelphia because Sado gets to play all the time. He's dead to rights so many times every week. And then here's the beat, here's the healing. Oh my God, a perfect barrier from Funny Astro keeps this team alive and in it. Carpe and Ivy about to have ultimates up. Agility's gonna have his Blizzard too. The next ultimates phase is going to be intense. Watch these divas. If you're Nevix, you don't even ult here because the ult is going to open things up for a Blizzard to come through.
Oh, this Deadeye's pretty good. Oh, just about survived Nevix with his mech. Carpe's on the back line now. He's wants to try and go for this flank. He wants to kill Shuffle, exactly that. Ivy's watching for that Matrix. He has the Blizzard, but the Blizzard laid out from Toronto first. All he has to do is survive. He gets flashbanged and taken out. Self-destruct in the back as well. This is bad news. Bears right now for Philly, and they step off. And there it is. Toronto aren't out of this series just yet.
They use the Blizzard to force the Ice Block, and then after Ice Block, they flashbang Ivy and take him out. Now that you know that Mei is gone and that there's no Blizzard possibility, you just send in the bomb to clear it up and sends them scattering like cockroaches when the light gets flipped on, and that is going to be Toronto hitting a second map. The reverse sweep, a distinct possibility here. 2-2, map number 5 when we return.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by ZipChair Gaming, the official chair supplier of the Overwatch League.
rush back in. Carpe's trying to stick with his McCree here. Might be better fit.
Widowmaker?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Okay.
I think he needs to go on Doom.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Dangerously low, will be melted down. Roar finds the kill. Carpe looking for a shot, takes one, finds Stratus, looks him in the head. Now is looking for the supports. Gets sunk in midair, over top of the pit. Carpe, and it worked. Carpe comes back with the Widowmaker, dinks him in the skulls.
The reverse sweep is possible. Toronto Defiant with 2 map wins back-to-back under their belt. Philly, they just need to clutch this final map out. It's going to be control, Hex. And what happened last time around? Carpe was on the flank, and Carpe clicked some heads.
But Shore4 wasn't in the game there. This looks like a little bit of a different team when Shore4's in the game, because now it's forcing Philadelphia to kind of look around. They have to swivel a little bit, like, where's Shore4 now? This must be what it's like to play against Carpe. This is, I don't like this feeling, right? But what a clutch play there at the end. The order of events to make sure that Ivy never got his Blizzard off, to force him into Ice Block, and then flashbang him out of Ice Block, get that kill, and then Nevix is just like, all right, sweet, zoom it in there. There was a self-destruct, everyone had to run. That's how we got to map 5 on Nepal. Oh, I love control. It just means we're not going to a map 6, though. Like, this is it. It's 1st to 3 this year. Both teams have 2. And as far as I know, you can't draw on control.
Unless you, like, time the server out or something. But that'll be just a ridiculous
First you're
fight.
boosting, now you're hacking, and your lags. But come on, man. Who are you?
You gotta stop exposing me like this, man.
I thought I knew you. I'm learning new things.
Apparently not, no.
Yeah, I guess.
Very well. Toronto needs to clutch this one out, but the glaring issue I'm seeing right now for Toronto is these blizzards are just being thrown into mechs. To be fair, on both sides, in fact. I believe play just unreal so far.
3 eaten by Nevix and 2 by Poco on the other side. I mean, it's a hard ultimate to get off when the Diva's on the field, just because that voice line is just like, hey guys, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, I'm going to Blizzard. And so that's why you see so many Blizzards get eaten up. Not to diminish the abilities of these Divas, it's really important that you're around and in the right spot and that you even have Matrix available. But of all the ultimates to be able to gobble up, this is a pretty easy one to hit that Blizzard, which is why you see so much focus going on these Divas. You see Maze just running after Divas with a little blaster, trying to freeze them up, because they get frozen up, they can't use abilities, and then you toss it in there. That's why you see walls come up and tossing in there. Like, you're just trying to get that Blizzard down, because it is one of the best ultimates in the game right now.
Well, we are jumping on to Nepal. Like you said, this will be our last map in the series. Can Toronto find the complete reverse sweep, or can Philly fight back? They must be a little bit down the dumps right now, but they've got to just rally around Carpe, and maybe Carpe needs to change his playstyle up a little bit, because like you said, Shore4 is looking for him now. People are checking him to make sure he can't get off these ridiculous flanks.
I mean, Nepal just has 3 very different stages, so we might see different compositions. We talked a little bit earlier about how May has been good for a long time on different situations and different maps. Village is a stage that comes to mind on Nepal. On that point, you can completely wall it off, and once you take control of that point, that's great. However, it looks like we are going to start on the Shrine of Nepal, the big brass elephant right there. And so I think we're gonna see mirror matches here, and it's so much about the mid fight. I don't know the exact stats. Perhaps some of our stat wizards can figure it out for me, but I think winning first fight gives you about a 60% chance to win the map overall. Once you're in control, it's so difficult for the other team to come up, especially in this meta, where a Mei is just walling people off. They know where you want to come in, and control is so much about the Mei walls. You can win or lose an entire map based on how your Mei is positioning walls.
Especially on this map too, when you think about it. Not many entrances to the point, and most of them, they fit a Mei wall nice and snugly. Well, I guess there are a lot of entrances, but they're rather small, is what I'm getting at. Already, Fusion have taken a dominant position on the point. So now it's up to Defiant right now to touch the point and actually stop the capture, which is going to be unlocked in about 5 seconds. Nice sleep on agility. It's funny Astro's going to get slept though as well. They're going to use this opportunity to use the speed boost of their own to kind of run into them. Nice headshot onto Ivy, forcing the ice block out. Point does unlock, but they now jostle the position.
Well, Philadelphia in a better position. They're getting
beautiful
percentage.
That's an early nano as well. Sada was naded on the front of that. You saw Karif, that wasn't even an aggressive nade. Sada was just way too far up, got purple. And then they go, well, okay, we nano into this because you can't do anything. You can't heal up. You can barely speed boost out because we got Lucio on our side as well. Carpe's going to go down too. They're just stalling out for as much time as possible at this point, but there should be a cap for the Defiant.
Yeah, no point in stalling out here. Shore4 is just going to farm it up and get to his own Deadeye, as there's almost no way that Philadelphia brings it back, and it will be a first point capture for the Toronto Defiance. You gotta wonder if the mental game is there for Philadelphia. You were up 2-0 and so close to closing out this series, and now you've lost the first fight on the decisive map of the Decider. A little bit rough, and this is exactly what we're talking about. These entrances up here, they're already scouted that Philadelphia wants to enter here.
Oh dear. Yeah, showed a little bit too early there.
They were trying to do the King's Row Gambit where they just get in there and hit a huge nade and just rush forward.
The smallest margin there, he's going to be able to see through, but he can't stop that ping going off. Sado and Alarm are antied, but it doesn't matter at all. Sado's now moving himself onto the point. Kellex tried to lay down the beat there as well to save Beast, but it wasn't that lucky. There's the Blizzard on point as well. Should be an easy cleanup. Everybody from Defiant just scurrying to the corners of the point to try and stall out and try and escape a frozen tomb. Now Fusion have a lot of odds to work with, but still quite a respectable time or percent even for Defiant. They got 46, not a bad start whatsoever.
It was very nice, and Philadelphia did clean that up. My only question is maybe use a Shatter there instead of Blizzard, because you've just taken out the opposing Reinhardt. Yes, there's still a Maywall and there's things that can interrupt the Shatter, but I think Shatter would be, in that chance, you have a great opportunity to use it and get value, whereas Blizzard's almost always good. We'll see how it works out here. Ivy is charging that Blizzard very quickly, already at 50% again.
Oh, self-destruct in the back. Everybody's going to have to jump under cover. As Carpe is escorted around. Oh, dearie me. Cherfo gets taken out. That's just what you need. Self-destruct, make everybody look one way, and then just speed boost Carpe, push him to the front line, and there you go. Deadeye, easy as that.
Now they're just going to take position. Philadelphia is just holding on defense. Toronto will back up and wait for Shore4. You need that finishing power, especially if you're going to try to hit a Blizzard here. Because Philadelphia is so good at keeping people alive during Blizzards, you need Shore4 hitting headshots if you actually want to get eliminations.
Yeah, Ivy, like you mentioned before, is building up his Blizzard rather fast. Now Fusion
is almost even.
Fusion are still kind of posturing around this point, but what a beautiful, beautiful shatter. Someone actually pinned up against Ivy's own ice spot. They can't take him out. There we go. The Matrix from the back, stopping a lot of that damage go through, but now Poco has been found out. Stalling out is the aim of the game now for Fusion. 75% and still building. They're not securing these kills, and in fact, Alarm's going to come up with a kill onto Kellex. Sherfor's going to get nano, but can he find the heads? Yes, he can. Carpe. Brains just splattered across the snow. Nice flashbang as well to finish it all off. As Bunny Astro, in fact, all the supports from Fusion are actually...
Ivy, no, sweet child. That fight was over. That fight was over, and he still tried to Blizzard. Even if the Blizzard connects there, I don't like it, but it gets eaten up anyway. That might be of like, Toronto, let me go. I'm gonna win this my own. No, you're not. That is a little bit rough. Like I said, he's been building up quickly. They are one fight away, though. You know what would have won that one fight for? Maybe a Blizzard that Ivy could have saved in that opportunity. But that is the past. Moving on forward, there's an Earth Shatter up, and Philadelphia's been so good at these Earth Shatter Deadeye combos. 70% for Toronto. I dare I say we are reaching final fight potential.
Yeah. Sheffel's got the Deadeye. I'm so scared, and I'd be scared if I was Fusion too. They got to touch. They got to make a move at some point. Uh-oh, he's on the floor. He's still sleeping. They got a body block and use the Matrix. Perfect by Poco. Eating every single one of those shots up. Now they still need to move on. 90%. Agilities has the wall and the Blizzard. Perfect wall there to stop that Blizzard from getting eaten, but Fusion, they kind of saw it coming. Now Carpe with the Deadeye around the corner. Doesn't quite find anything. In frustration, Hills hits that right click. Beats through for Defiant. Bomb as well, as Nevex doesn't really find too much, and a shatter from Beast yet again coming up so big. Sado trades one out as Agilities goes down, but OT is here, and it is Beast going to be the one trying to pick up the kills, but Ivy with the Blizzard didn't let this one go to waste, as they do clear out the point, and now 94% for the Fusion.
Hiding Lucio. He's going to be able to get to touch. So Lucio's on the point. He's going to get there.
You know, OT. Okay. Kellex just has to survive. He's probably not going to know. Alarm. A sharp shot manages to take him out. Agility's coming back on the Doomfist. Cherfor on the Tracer to try and stall out. Even the Wrecking Ball for Beast. The only thing they need is one pick. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get it, not with Carpe on the Doomfist. A faded Moira onto the point, but this should just be it. No way Nevix is going to be able to hold on out. Beautiful punch from Carpe there, sending Kellex flying. OT ticks through, and there we go. Fusion with one map up, one map away from denying the reverse sweep.
I'm just so happy for Ivy because he would have been beating himself up for donating that Blizzard, but it was his Blizzard, his second one that he built up during that fight that locked it out for his squad. Again, we talk so much about Carpe, but Ivy has been a phenomenal Mei in this meta right now, an enormous reason why Philadelphia is as successful as they are. Now Philadelphia one stage away from letting victory slip through their fingers here. Let's go on to Sanctum.
Big boops is what we want to see from Astro and Kellex.
Oh no, this is, yeah, wait. Yeah, Sanctum. Sorry. My overhead went a little wonky there for a second.
Double shield, Baptiste.
Toronto on the dive. It worked well for him. It's gonna force Carpe off the McCree. You don't want to let Carpe do McCree on this map because there's so much space and he can just sit alone and do whatever he wants. So, all right, Shortfire going over to the Reaper. First time we've seen him on the Reaper this match.
It's going to take them a long time to build that EMP, so not too surprised. It just means he's also going to be a permanent presence as well in the front line. It means that Sado and Pogo have to pay a little bit more attention to where he is and where he's going to be. Dive onto Funny Astro, he was on the high ground. He's going to be able to push out from the safety of his nest they've set up. Nice little boot into Kellex. Kellex narrowly escaping that hold from Pogo. And now Funny Astro just dominating the skies at this point. Point has been unlocked also, speaking of that. Alarm's in a little bit of trouble. Agility's with the resets now. Carpe's going to go down. That's the main damage dealer falling for the Fusion. Sado is very low as well, but Alarm comes back with a little bit of vengeance. The Shiver ends up falling too, but Agility does what he does best. Play that Genji, find the resets. Fusion in a very bad situation, but they're still going to be able to stall out. They got a reset and they have got the Mei still in this very small corridor, but Agility's completely untouched. Almost with the blade off this first fight as well.
Philadelphia got their tanks on the point, and they got a couple of healers near the point, but they left Carpe a little bit behind. Toronto noticed it and did a mega dive. It was 4 people on Carpe. They almost got Alarm, but the boots were able to keep him alive. Alarm did save his team's life with a really nice IF early in that fight, but really what Philadelphia wants to do with this composition is get everybody to the point and play double tank and force Toronto to come with them with their squishies. Here's a blade.
Oh, beautiful blade, beautiful boot. Immortality field gets taken out. Agility's trying to find somebody, but that beat was good enough, and Carpe takes the kill. He didn't have a nano at his back, so he was going in there solo, basically.
They force Primal out. That means they don't really want to go on the point right now unless they get punched into the void by a monkey.
Oh, what a beautiful matrix for that Shatter. Unfortunately, you can't eat that one, Nevex. Carpe just fan the hammering in that room. He wants to find somebody, and they managed to find Beast. 50% now on the board for Defiant. 2 kills, though, from Agility. He's coming back on the Doomfist. Already 50% ult charge. Managed to punch Pogo off the edge. Gets a whole bunch for that, and even a nano boost coming through, and a beat, in fact. They're just jumping on the point. Alarm's going to be able to sit back here doing a whole bunch of damage, but it almost gets booped off, and now he's going to be the target for the Defiant. A bomb coming through as well, killing off Ivy. They're still holding on, Hex.
I knew Agilities was going to push a Doomfist the moment that the Genji didn't work out. I think he should just start on Doomfist. It's been much more successful for him than that Genji has been, and though Carpe is pulling some heroics, that's still a big old 0 for the Philadelphia Fusion when it comes to capture percentage. Toronto Defiant need to win a single fight here. We're going to go to a defining map, on Village. Some point pressure here with the double tank.
Teleporting the back to Sherfall. There's the death boss, and Carpe opens up big with 2 kills. Beast kills off Astro though and finishes up with Carpe as well. Poco's on the point, but he's having to deal with not only Kellex, but Nevix. He may be Baby Diva, but he's going to be hard to hit. A very ambitious charge, but almost a perfect wall there, setting up that kill rather well. Kellex ends up going down. The Shatter is going to help finish off Beast, but somehow staying alive.
Agilities pops in at the last second, trying to get something done. Forces Ivy to use the Blizzard on the point. There's no use not using it. You need to secure that point in this point in time because you are at 99%. Toronto Defiant is single fight away. It's a very good point for self-destructs. Nevix, well, he was just remeching. I got a little too excited there. I don't know. I wonder if Philly's going to be reactionary. They're a team that will use this beat to engage, but so far Toronto has been the aggressor in the last several maps.
Yeah, Toronto just kind of taking point right now. Not the point, but a point where they want to dive from. That was a lot of damage actually onto Vicious there. Funny Astro hit 4 or 5 headshots in a row. Yeah, he's still checking that corner. He knows Sure4 is there. Just keep poking them out. Just buy them time. They do need to get healed up. That's a very early beat, but they saw the teleport coming in from Sure4. Agility's on the point. Almost gets insta-domed by Poco. BT strike in the back. Doesn't quite find anything, but still disrupts the backline of the Fusion. But flying through the air, Poco's still on the point, refusing to be moved. Funny Astro with the boop at the end. Philly will survive.
That's really nice too, because it helps them get to another beat very quickly. You don't just want to let people reset for free and not get that damage counted in your total. Carpe at 70% with nearing another Deadeye, and Agilities goes back to the Genji, because what was working for Defiant was, hey, everybody jump Carpe, and we'll see what happens after that. Agilities unable to do so on the Doomfist, got stunned too early. Of course, Genji with the deflect is really good at getting in on McCree. But so far, Genji's not been anything to write home about.
And he's only just switched as well, and it's 20% before they do take the map. As Sure4 jumps to the back line, does get stunned, has to use the Raycon to get out of the way. Shadow with the Shadow as well, narrowly avoiding Sure4. I need to force everybody away, and that's a very good start. Agility's going down. No way he's going to get a blade before this final fight now. A frozen monkey right in their sights, but the beat comes in clutch, and the Matrix too. Nevix keeping the rest of his team alive, and Nano on the Diva might just do it, and Carpe gets stepped on the side. Almost 0 damage now available from Fusion. Sada goes in, the bomb's on top, finds Carpe. What a start, Defiant. All they need to do now is just sit themselves on the point. Agility comes back on the Doomfist and finds another kill.
Well, there was a Blizzard on the point though, and they're still very healthy. Funny Astro's gonna come back in, he just used speed, he got Kareem!
What? Funny Astro kills Kareem in the back line, doing what he does best with the solo kills. Agility's gonna get nanoed, but he's in such a bad situation. He doesn't have any cooldowns to fight with, but Beast comes up big on the... This is madness!
Carpe comes back on the fist and he gets Sure4. There's a ball on the point. Sato is going to try to get something going here. Still 4 alive.
Sure4 might be able to come back with the ult, but they're clearing them off. OT's ticking down. This is going to be it. Carpe kills off Kareem. Finally, they clutch the point. And Fusion deny the reverse sweep away from the Defiant.
Oh, do I love being right. Fusion is clutch. And clutch is everything in life. You can never count this team out. They did it all day. You know what? I think they lost 2 maps just to do that. I think they wanted to do that. Well, I don't really think that. This team is so fun to watch. I think they've gained new fans. They've already got an amazing fan base here. Even this crowd was kind of coming around on them as we went on through that match. What an extraordinary display from this team. But Defiant really, I love to give some credit to the losing team. Defiant put up a hell of a fight. Gutsy performance to come back into this one because it was looking like a 3-0 really early out of the gates. Defiant, I think, still a good team. Some people had them 19th, 20th in their power rankings. Not going to name names, CP. But this Philly team, so good. A big part of it, the barriers kept this squad alive. So let's talk to the man providing the power of music on stage. We got GB with Funny Astro.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. What a match that was. I mean, come on. You couldn't have asked for a better game between these two teams. I got Funny Astro here. Dude, okay. You know, I had like this whole line of questioning planned about how Philadelphia is like, you know, looking like the most dominant team in the Atlantic Conference. But you guys just, what happened? What happened in that game? You guys almost lost it.
I mean, they've been practicing 2 weeks just for this match. And the first 2 maps we came in strong, but then after it was pretty obvious they had some strats we weren't ready for. So we hadn't really expected them to do stuff like that. So it was pretty hard for us to adapt, but we're lucky we managed to get it back map 5.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of map 5, right? You guys were able to do so 2-0, but it was very close there. What was the coaching like? What were the guys telling you to kind of keep yourself focused on as you got ready for that final deciding control game?
I mean, control is a really good game type for us. We're very strong at it. So the coaches were just saying, play normal, play like we do in scrims. And we managed to do that, and it worked out well.
You know, and the support team for the Fusion has just been, it's been incredible. What is, I guess, like, how has, going back to the coaching again, how has that actually helped you guys become the backbone of this team? Because it has been so impressive.
So our coaching is very individual focused, and a lot of the time when you make like small mistakes, we'll just get pointed out to us, so it's very easy to fix those mistakes, and the coaching is really useful for that.
Finally, do you think that the Philadelphia Fusion right now are the best team in the Overwatch League?
I think we could be. Yeah, we could be.
I like that. It's modest enough. All right, well, Funny Astro, thank you so much for your time, my friend. Give it up one more time for the Philadelphia Fusion. What a win that was. Let's send it back to the casters.
Cheers, guys, on the stage. That was your Coke victory moments. Yeah, a little bit modest. A little bit too modest, I must say. Astro, you got to,
I think Poco would have given a little bit different answer to that
100%.
one. But, Funny Astro's just trying to find his place on the team. Look, what a great play from him today. I've been bigging up Alarm, but, the support line is only as good as both of the guys. A team is only as good as the sum of its parts, and Funny Astro put on a great performance today. So many of those beats were on a razor's edge. You think about even just Anubis should have been a draw, but that beat comes in last second, keeps everybody alive. The supports played clutch, and it was so fun to see.
Oh, yes, it was. And Sato inches away from death almost every single corner as Toronto just throwing so much at him.
Yeah.
Doesn't like Funny Astro is going to be our player of the match. Surprise, surprise. The Boot King.
Yeah, you really can't. You can't say enough about him, and he deserves it. You could have given it to a lot of different players here, and obviously you could always give it to Carpe. Ivy, I think, had great performances, but it really was these last-second barriers because Kariv was hitting these giant nades and putting his team super low. Of course, Barrier covers up those things, and he just, every time this team was about to die, he comes in with this beat, and he is building it so quickly because the reason he's always got beat, his accuracy with that blaster is amazing. He did a ton of damage. He's in the right spot at the right time. Man, this Philadelphia team, they didn't look as clean today as I was expecting, and a couple missteps, but as they said, it looked like they got game planned for, but at the end of the day, Astro is going to be our player of the match.
Still undefeated. They're looking pretty fire right now, but what have we got next, Hex?
I believe it is going to be London versus the Washington Justice. I think everybody is a little bit excited for that one. Washington looking to rack up a win at their homestand here, Jaws.
Oh, yes, they are. They're ready. We're ready. I think we're going to see you guys in a moment. I know who these guys are cheering for. London have got a tall team to stand up to. We'll see you in a bit.